welcome back to the Reality Receipts podcast starring me, Storytime with Ricky.
And me, Reality Ashley. I was just saying, I forget how to do this. I feel like we've been gone forever. It's only really been like 4 days, though. But
Yeah,
in our land, that's a long time. We're
yes,
back from Vegas. We survived. We're barely alive, though. We're
yeah,
exhausted. Our feet hurt.
yes,
Every moment was jam packed. From Thursday to Monday, we saw so much. We did so much. How are
yeah.
you feeling? Tired?
I'm tired. Yes, I'm tired. It was nonstop. It was a lot of fun, but just like nonstop. And like I need to go get these little toesies rubbed. But it
Yes.
was definitely a very once in a lifetime experience. Thank you so much, HAYU, for sending us to Bravocon. It was
Yeah.
amazing. My first Bravocon, and just we have so much to tell you guys. Can't wait.
Yeah, HAYU sent us. So I first heard about HAYU a couple of years ago when they DM'd me saying, "Oh, we see you're in Canada, and this is like how you can watch Bravo in Canada because Bravo's only available in the USA." And I had never heard of them until she reached out to me, and then I realized because I always just had to watch. We have like a cable channel that puts on whatever's airing currently, but you
Mhm,
can't like go back and watch anything else. It's not streaming. And so when
mhm.
they told me about it, and it has every housewife show that's ever existed and every Southern Charm season, everything, and you can go back from the start and watch. And obviously, for my content, it's been amazing. So, yeah, if you're in Canada, Australia, England, all these other places, basically that aren't the USA, this is how we get our Bravo, and they're a lifesaver. So, we totally appreciate them sending us to catch a bunch of content for them. And we got to meet some other really nice creators that were there and got to go to a dinner. So we'll tell you all about it. I
Yeah.
don't even know where to. Should we start with the BTS and then talk about the panels, or reverse? Which one do you want to start with?
I don't know. I think let's start by day. Like, let's just take them through our day,
Okay, I love
each
it.
day, and then so that they can feel like they were there with us on the
Okay.
journey, right? So I
Yes.
got in Thursday night. You guys, I also have like hotel like nightmare story about the Cosmopolitan at Vegas. I'll just sprinkle that in as we go.
Yes.
Yeah, I got in Thursday night. Ashley got in like a Thursday midday, so she had like a little bit more time to like chill and relax. But did we
Hmm.
meet up Thursday night?
Oh yes.
Oh,
So
well,
I
see,
got
my
in
memory my
Thursday at
memory has gone.
yeah. I got in Thursday at 4, and then I was staying at the Flamingo only because I did Bravocon in 2023. I stayed at the Paris, and it's not that far, but I really felt every day like I just didn't have a good route, or like the F1 was worse that time because they shut down the strip for F1. So there
Yeah.
wasn't a good route for me to get from the Paris to Bravocon, and it feels close, but it takes like 35 minutes. And I was like, I don't want to spend over an hour each day walking back and forth because trying to cab, that's a whole other story that we'll get into. But it
Yeah.
was it was a little rainy, so I picked the Flamingo only because I knew you can come down the elevators, go on the Link Promenade, and you're literally 2 minutes from the venue.
Yes.
But the Flamingo's older hotel. Does not have all the amenities. It's not classy, and so Ricky stayed at the Cosmopolitan, which was a little bit farther, but has very nice restaurants, very nice bars. So we hung out there Thursday night. I went to
Yes.
her
Oh, yeah,
because
we did. Oh, duh. Okay, yeah, it's all coming back to me.
yeah, we had a I think that was our latest night actually, because I didn't leave your hotel until like 1 a.m. So that was maybe a bad idea. But, when you're on your first night in Vegas, you're raring to go. So we went to STK
Uh-huh.
for dinner in her hotel. And then we went down to the Chandelier Bar because we heard Andy had been spotted there. So we were hoping to see Andy. We did not see Andy. Unfortunately, another older gentleman that wouldn't leave Ricky alone. Not a Bravo man, but
You
are we
guys
spilling that to you or
actually
not?
got to see firsthand, like, how rough it is, how hard it is out here for a pimp, because it was just so like, this man, like, came up, sparked conversation, not once offered a drink. I shit you not I shit you not, was like, yeah, I don't even know
Horrible.
how long into the conversation he said this, but he was like, "Yeah, like, we're just trying to, like, win some money and get laid."
Yeah, and I felt so bad because I was like, "Oh, I'm a good wing woman, like, I'll be able to if you're looking, to meet any men, I'll tag along, like, I'll just, help you out because obviously I'm not looking for anyone." But when this guy came up, I'm like, "I can't even fake I'm sorry, I can't even fake it." I just, like,
Yeah,
looking
Ashley
so
went, like,
disinterested.
straight into her phone, but I think it was, like, it was pretty obvious that this guy was, like, a no-go, like, definitely wasn't my type, but, like, for you to I don't know if he was, like, testing out to see if we were working girls, I don't know what he was doing to be like, "Oh, we're trying to get laid and win a lot of money," and, of
Mhm.
course, I make a joke and I said, "Well, how's that going for you?" And I noticed that his friend had on a wedding ring, and I said, "Well, he won't be getting laid. He's married." And he was like, "Oh, his wife's upstairs." And I said, "Oh, well, maybe he will be the only one getting laid then if he's late." I was like, "It's getting late. You better hurry up before she goes to sleep." Like, you know what I mean? And
Like, "Get out of here."
we just kind of, brushed over him. He was so rude about my name. I told him my name was
Yeah.
Ricky, and he's like, "What kind of name is that? That's like a boy's name." I'm like, "Well, I didn't name myself, bitch." Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
No, he was
really weird. He was really strange. And then
yeah, he was like, "I'll find" because we told him we were there for Bravocon, and he's like, "Oh, I'll find Andy for you, like, I'll put in a good word," and so the funnest part of it, though, was that he finally got the hint that, like I mean, we would've probably taken a free drink. I guess he's on to that and was like he never offered, so he went
never
away,
offered a drink. Never
thankfully.
offering a woman a drink, starting a conversation and not offering a drink is actually quite wild. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, you know what I mean? And whatever. So,
We
whatever.
we actually went upstairs a few levels though, because it's, like, goes all the way to the top, and that was fun because we got to sit there, and then he would come up and be trying with other girls that were, like, maybe a little more drunk or a little less aware of how lame this guy was, and so we got to watch that. So that was the entertaining part of the night, I felt
Yes.
like.
Yes, yes. And then we went to bed. And oh, by the way, you guys, if you're ever thinking of going to STK, don't. It is a completely overpriced. I've been there a handful of times, and every time I go, I say the same thing. I say I'm never coming back. It's overpriced and the food is just not good quality. I don't mind paying for a nice dinner, but when the food is not good and it's expensive, that's the worst. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was shocked at how expensive like, I know it's Vegas, I know it's expensive, but, like, we shared a couple things, and I think we had maybe like, Ricky doesn't drink, right? So her drinks are mocktails, which are pretty much the same price as an alcoholic one. You might as well just go for it because
Yeah.
they charge, like, $20 for the mocktail. So, yeah, I think it's, like, over $200 just for a couple of things, which is not that bad maybe, but because
No,
I'm in
it was like
Canada
you guys, it was $250 for a pasta, a dumplings, and that's it.
that were
That's all
cold.
we and drinks. Like, we
Yeah,
got dumplings, we got pasta, that was
pasta.
shared, and her drinks.
I'm just
So
remembering
oh,
the
and a crab cake. We got one
oh,
singular crab cake
50
that was literally this big, I'm not even joking. It was cold, and it
Yeah,
was $50, and the dumplings were
yeah,
cold, they had to send them back. Those were $50. Like, literally, every other dinner we had was like I'm like, "This is reasonably priced." Like,
yeah.
Boa was reasonably priced. We went to Zuma, which was probably my favorite
So good.
get there. It was so don't ever go there. Like, if you
Yeah.
want to catch the vibe, go sit at the bar, have a drink. They have a DJ if you like that kind of vibe, like, so it's, like, kind of like clubby, loungy type of vibe, but if you're
Mhm.
do not
It
go
was
for
very loud.
it was
I
very
got there
loud.
before Ricky, and they sat me down. I'm like, "It's so loud in here, I'm not gonna be able to talk to you." I'm like, "Oh, damn, that means I'm getting old."
Yeah, but if
And
you
then
want
this
to catch a vibe, just go to the bar and do not eat there.
I thought until this trip that I'm a girl that likes a little spice in my food, and I like a little spicy drink.
You
Our food
guys,
would come, and I'm like, "That's too spicy," and Ricky's like, "There's no spice in this, what are you talking
first of all,
about?"
it was really funny, like, it probably the highlight of my weekend finding out, like, our different taste buds and, like, how I'm like, "This is so seasoned," and she's like, "This is very salty."
Yeah, yeah, the steak. I'm
Or
like
I'm like, "This tastes like absolutely nothing," and she's like, "Actually, I find it quite good."
like, "My lips are on fire," and she's like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, she was, like, saying her, spicy, like, jalapeno drink from STK was so spicy, so I was like, "Let me try this, like, I have to see what she's talking about." I was like, "Ashley, this is like a 3, like, this is definitely not even
Like, it's like
spicy."
a 13 to me, but to be fair, that one had, like, 20 jalapeno seeds floating in it, and so I think it was if you didn't get a seed, it was fine. but it was
I
hard to
drank a
avoid
seed.
those little guys.
I
You
drank a
drank a
seed.
seed?
I
Oh
did,
my
I
god.
drank a seed, and I was like, it's like, okay. So, anyway, that was our
Yeah.
Thursday night. Friday was day 1 of
Yep.
Bravocon. We got there bright and early, ready to rumble. First place we went was
Yes.
the VIP room, got some coffee. They have really great coffee in there, and, we got started with the panels and
Yeah.
getting catching
We
up
went
on the tea for you guys, so
Yeah, we went straight to the what was the first one? The Valley. The Valley
mm,
was the first panel, so we had to catch that one. I got some good clips out of that one, so those are on our page, but, Michelle finally explained why her and Aaron broke up, so I guess after they moved in together, she felt like things changed. She wasn't really prepared to, like, take on her and her daughter. We did actually talk to Jesse about this off camera. We got had a long chat with him at BOA. Should we talk about that now or wait till
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I want now.
Yeah, we do
Yeah.
have a small clip, so you guys, like, our
Yes.
strategy going our strategy going into this was, like, we noticed that if you put a mic in their face, because we had our little tiny mic prepared, but we noticed that when you put a mic in their face, they start, they put on that PR response, and they really don't give you anything genuine, so our strategy was, like, to pretend like we're going up to take a picture, no mic in hand, sneak a little question in, and then we're
Yeah.
recording it, and then but, they think that we're taking photos as fans or that they're just answering something to a fan. Whole time we're a whole podcast, but we
Yeah.
noticed that when we had that mic in our hand, we just got a different aura, a different vibe, and we're like,
Mhm.
"No, we're getting such stale answers with a mic," so we
And
actually caught Jesse at BOA, and we asked him about Aaron, and his take on it was a lot. We got half of the answer because he
yeah,
just again, when
he
there's
kept
no
going.
mic, they just
Well, and to be fair, I don't feel like we're like tricking them in any way because I am standing there with the camera in their face. It's not like a hidden camera, so I
Yeah,
am standing there recording and like not put it down after they think we take a picture. So like they know
yeah,
they're on a camera,
for sure.
so it's not being sneaky. And also, I don't think the housewives because we did get a picture with a couple housewives and they are smarter. They're media trained. They no matter what, they're not going to give you any tea. And
Yeah,
so the husbands and the boyfriends were definitely better for getting the actual tea. They want to talk. Like I've never seen people more excited to be at BravoCon. Like they were taking pictures, they were answering questions, they were chatting. So that
yeah,
was our strategy was like we did kind of with Love is Blind. Like go for the side characters because they
yeah,
want to talk and they got stuff to
yeah.
say and they know everything, right? So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
but
that was the strategy, but the mic, there's something about that mic that makes people, like, nervous or, like, feel
mhm,
like they can't be chatty, so they were chatty. Jesse was very, very chatty. His take on it was, like, he was really disappointed in Aaron because of
yeah.
Isabella. Isabella had moved in, and, what else did he say?
He said he said because his girlfriend's filming or did film for season 3, so we're gonna see that probably in the springtime, and he said, "I just want you to watch the difference between the way I treated Aaron and the way Michelle treats my girlfriend." Now, I didn't necessarily feel like he was super great and nice to Aaron. They did, I guess, eventually get there, but what I think he was basically trying to say is Michelle is not cool and not nice to his girlfriend. We did hear from season 2 that off-camera moment where they had a little fight, so it sounds like that continues into season 3 and that is gonna be on camera now. We asked Jesse what everyone's wanting to know, like, you and Michelle clearly have feelings for each other. There it wouldn't be all this animosity, all this fighting, all this talking about each other. She wouldn't care about your girlfriend if she wasn't into you. So I felt like because he was kind of like, no, but like he definitely wasn't like, hell no, there's no feelings there. He was like,
Yeah,
everyone's been saying season 4, we'll get back together. But he said, I would never do that to Isabella, like the back and forth. So what I kind of gathered was maybe one day if they're sure that they would get back together, but it definitely wasn't a hell no.
it
So,
wasn't a, like, we hate each other, right? Like, because it's like, I told him, like, "I can't figure out if you guys hate each other, if you guys love each other, because it seems like like, there's this, like, love there, but then there also seems like there's this huge, like, disgust there, so
mhm,
I can't figure it out, but he said that that's like everyone says that, like, that's
mhm.
everyone's kind of opinion on it, but he wasn't like, "Fuck, no," like,
Yeah.
which is what I would expect if you're like, "Ew, absolutely, no, I hate this bitch," like, I feel like you would be like, "Absolutely not,"
Mhm.
like, hell would have to freeze over it. It wasn't like that, it was like, "Yeah, everyone kinda says that," like,
Mhm.
No, I don't think so. I wouldn't do that to Isabella, that would be confusing, but yes, like,
Yeah.
if you guys are sure you're gonna make this work, it wouldn't be confusing to
Well, and
Isabella.
like people say, the opposite of love is indifference, right? They're not this like hatred and annoyance and constantly like in each other's business. So it definitely feels like if they didn't have a child, maybe they'd be hooking up. I mean, who knows? I wouldn't be shocked to hear if there was any kind of hooking up going on, but
Well, he
he does
seemed
have a girlfriend
to
of 2
be, yeah,
years.
really
So,
into this girlfriend. I really think it's funny. It was this whole thing that they did bring up at the panel that the girlfriend didn't want. Like, she made this huge fuss about being filmed, even though she was at an event where she knew filming was taking place. Lo and behold, you're filming for season 3. So it's like,
yeah.
which I will say that at the panel, Jessie did not reveal that she was going to be filming for season 3, but later at BOA, when we seen him the next night, he did reveal that she is going to be in season 3. So
Yeah.
again, capturing them, these little moments where they're not like on stage, they just seem to be more open to talking, which is cool. So
Yeah, and he did shade, Aaron in the panel when or yeah, I guess it was Aaron when Michelle explained why they weren't together, and then he threw in a little dig of, like, the honey wasn't sweet enough anymore, and it's like, that's what's giving you still love this woman because you would just be like, "Oh, I'm sad for my daughter." He was more like that when we talked to him, but on the stage, I do appreciate that he did that because I will say I felt like the panel a lot of the panels were great, but they were lacking a little bit of that, like, tea spill that we usually get or that, like, starting fights with each other. A lot of them kept it cute, and I get it. They don't wanna have that quote be, like, in the press, but some of them really get it and relish in that, like Jesse. He wasn't scared to say some shit, and so I appreciated that. So,
yeah. Yeah.
I
Did he
kept
say
the
anything else good at BOA? Did he say
No,
anything? Yeah.
I think that was about it. Yeah, we were sitting over in the bar and they were in like a private room. And so he came over to the bar about 7 times, I think, like looking like he wanted to have pictures taken and talk, you know. So we were like, we'll take that opportunity. And so we did. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so then back to the Valley panel. So
Yes.
yes, that's good that came out of it. It was like, I know everyone's been kind of really wondering what happened between Michelle and Aaron. She didn't say any really much. She said, you know, basically, like, it became really clear that, like, her lifestyle, like, having it almost seemed like Isabella was a big part, like, her having a kid and her kid moving
Hmm.
in was like there was some indifference there. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
What up?
that was her tea, I guess. That's
Yeah.
the thing people wanted to know about her.
Yeah. The
Kristen
other,
said that her and Lisa, which I think anybody who watches Vanderpump Rules knows that they have like a little like they don't
mhm.
have the best relationship. And they actually asked Lisa about it at the Vanderpump viewing and just kind of said that they don't speak, but if she's seen her, she would wish her well because she just had a baby. Um,
Well, Lisa has said some nasty things in the press, which is what they were talking about. Like, when Kristen announced she was pregnant, Lisa was kind of like, "Oh, who's the dad?" and shaded her like that. And so, yeah, like she's very mean about Kristen, and people love Kristen now. So Lisa has to get with the times a little because back when Kristen was on Vanderpump, she was a bit of a mess, and not. I think people liked her, but they definitely like came for her more. And I think Lisa's just stuck in that Vanderpump mindset of like Kristen is trouble, but we've seen Kristen grow and flourish. She's get engaged, has a baby. She's not that person, which is weird because Lisa's an executive producer on The Valley. So it's like, I don't think she watches. I don't think she knows what's happening because it doesn't seem like she's up to date on what's happening in their lives. But
yeah.
then they talked about Brittany, says she's single. It's kind of funny. She was blaming the media for like being in her business about that one guy, but I mean, she was getting paparazzi pics on the beach in Mexico at the airport. She says she didn't know about that. She didn't organize that, but that's over. Remember he was like separated. People thought he
Yeah.
was married, but
Yeah.
separated. So
Yeah.
but yeah, no Jacks on the Valley, so that'll be new. That'll be interesting to see how that goes. They all say it was a lighter season, a more fun season, so that I think people are looking forward to for sure.
Yeah. Jason and Danny, there's definitely still smoke there. They kind of alluded to
Mhm.
the fact that they're not friends and they don't speak. to each
Yeah.
other, so but I'm not sure that anybody really gives a damn to be quite honest. Yeah, Benji
And
Zach are still together. He was there at Bravocon with him. We did see Zach, actually, we saw him and said, "Oh,
yeah,
he came on the pod. Good to see you again." We didn't have anything really spicy to ask him. I think there wasn't
I
much
think
going on with his storyline besides, like, him and Janet's beef and, like, you
yeah.
know
Yeah, I think we asked him, like, "What can you tell us about season 3?" And he just said basically what they said at the panel, like, "It's definitely gonna be lighter and more fun," and I think we were kinda like, "Oh, so, like, no drama," and he was like, "No, no, like, there's still fights and stuff, but no details." But Janet did say, "If you hated me in season 1 and 2, you're gonna hate me in season 3." So I guess no change or growth from Janet. I did see Danny and Nia do interviews where they said them and Jason and Janet are not in a good place. So it sounds like where they started at season 3 is gonna be where they leave off. They don't get
Mhm.
any resolve there, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Janet did
not
look amazing. She looked
yeah,
really good, but, yeah, I feel like there wasn't much tea from their panel. They all kept it cute. Any questions, it was like, You'll just have to see. You'll just have to see,
mhm,
like, stay tuned to season 3," like, so, I did
yeah,
notice that I get it because Jax was a big part of story for so long, but I do
mhm,
think that Brittany doesn't have much to talk about or much of a storyline without Jack. So I am curious to
yeah,
I really do love Brittany. She really seems like a genuine sweet person. We actually seen her on another panel on day 3. Um, so yeah, I am curious to see what that storyline's gonna be without Jax because even on this panel, it's like all she could do is talk about him. So
mhm,
we'll
yeah.
see.
Yeah, they talked about co-parenting, and she's saying she's hoping to be divorced by Christmas, so that's the plan. They're still not officially divorced, but she hopes to have that done by Christmas, and she'll be taking Cruz home for Christmas to Kentucky, and that's about it, so
Yeah,
but I
and
did notice someone I can't remember who it was, somebody, maybe Andy or someone else, said Jax steps away from the show for this season. So I think most of us are assuming this is a temporary thing for Jax. That's why he's been laying low. We haven't heard a peep out of him in months. And I think that's because they are holding this show sort of as like a carrot of like, get your shit together and you can come back for season 4, right? We need a season without you. I'm sure they're expecting people to be like, this is boring without Jax. We need Jax. They kind of want people to miss him, but I don't know, like, the things that make Jax entertaining are a little dark, right? The way it's just not really, like, funny anymore. It was when he was 35 on Vanderpump, but now he has a 4-year-old and getting a divorce. I don't think we wanna see that stuff out of Jax anymore, so I don't know how he can pivot to come back, but
yeah,
I get the
but
feeling it's temporary, is what they
yeah.
said.
Yeah, I think the biggest news that came out of the Valley panel is obviously that Schwartz and Lala are joining the cast full time. Uh,
Yes.
People were expecting Sheena to also be in that announcement, but she's not. There
Mhm.
are rumors circulating that she's going to be joining Real Housewives of Orange County, which I should have asked Brock when I seen him, but there were
Yeah.
rumors swirling that Sheena went to jail. So I feel like that was more important. I did ask Brock. He said Sheena did not go to jail. She was not
Yeah.
arrested. There was no fight. There was no altercation. If you guys don't know what's going on there, a story started circulating from Dumois that Sheena had gotten into a physical altercation during one of the green rooms, press rooms, or whatever, and
Mhm.
got arrested. Brock says not true. There was no fight. There was no incident. Has no idea where that came from. So we
Well, he
cleared.
did in our clip, he said, like, "That's why I said I bailed her out, like I was just joking or whatever," but he said to someone or he posted somewhere, "Oh, yeah, I bailed her out this morning," I guess to be funny, but
To be
you can't
funny, yeah,
really yeah, people took it seriously. Because then even at the end of our little clip that we posted, he's like, "But if she did get in a fight, she would've fucking won," and it's like so people are he's like, "No, it's total BS," but then he jokes about it being true, so people are taking it too seriously, but
yeah.
obviously, if she actually got arrested, I think people would have dug that up. There would have been a mugshot. We would have seen more tea.
Well,
So I don't know where that came from. I mean, people suspect Sheena herself because look, it gave us questions to ask. It put her in the news, but I
yeah,
don't know if she would do
yeah.
that.
What do you think of Schwartz and Lala joining the cast full time?
I
Schwartz
think
also revealed that he has a girlfriend and that he's in love. He has some model girlfriend, I guess, as she says,
yes.
and he definitely was like, "She's the love of my life." which everyone
Yeah, he did say
whoa.
that.
Yeah, he did say she's the love of my life, so
And, she looks lovely. I think she's young girl model. It's like I don't know. I Schwartz is nice, right? But it's like these girls could probably do a little better. And is it just being on TV that they're into? Because we do know Schwartz had another young girlfriend like last year, but he didn't end up doing the Valley and she went away. So, like, if he
yeah,
wasn't on TV,
this
right? Would he?
definitely gonna
Although,
make her appearance on the Valley. Yeah, I could just
yeah.
tell, you know?
But I mean, people do find him very handsome and love him. So who knows? It might not be the show,
I
but
find
it
him
probably helps.
I think he's sweet. I couldn't date someone like Schwartz because I would walk all over him.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I
that's
need
what Lala
like
too.
a little bit of a backbone. Like I will literally annihilate you. Like it just wouldn't even be cute. But yeah, I
Yeah,
guess there were rumors circulating that Lala and
yeah.
Schwartz were a thing, and they asked about that. She said no. Like, I don't know what a great addition Lala is going to be. It honestly seems to me like she doesn't really talk to any of these people and they're not
Mhm.
really her real friends and she's just kind of doing it to be on the show.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't
Yeah,
know
you
how
could
fun that's going to be. I feel like Schwartz living next to Jax is like that's how we're gonna get our Jax tea next season is like because he's
mhm.
gonna kind of loop in and know like what's going on, whatever's going on with his new relationship. But Schwartz also isn't one to like bring the drama, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think they had to fill that hole of Jax leaving, so Lala and Schwartz are that filler, but I got the vibe on the stage that Lala is not getting along with the girls very much, or, like, there was
Yeah.
some weird tension, and
Yeah.
she went right off the bat by sort of saying something like, "When I joined Vanderpump, I felt like I had to play catch up, but now I felt like when I joined this show, they had to catch up to me," kind of a thing, like she was the top dog, which, I mean, fair, she has been on TV a lot longer than some of them, so it just didn't feel like a warm welcome,
Yeah,
but
I really don't like when there's certain people, you guys, like, you can tell just, like and I feel like you can tell on camera, you can tell off camera, you can tell in interviews, there are just some people, some characters that have a fucking chip on their shoulder, and I
yeah,
hate that shit, you know what I mean? There's some even, there's just some content creators or some, podcasters that just act like and they have a chip on their shoulder, and I can't
yeah,
stand it, and to me, Lala is one of those people, like, she just has a chip
mhm,
on her shoulder, she thinks she's better than everyone, she's hoity-toity, that little fucking superstar attitude when really it's like, you're a D-list bitch, like, get over yourself type of deal, where it's like Britney has been on TV just as long, and she's humble, and she's sweet, and she has not let it get to her head, where you have people like Lala to where it's, like, definitely getting to her head, and I feel
yeah,
like Janet to me also has that kind of chippiness to her to where it's like the fame and the show is, like, definitely, like, getting to her head to where
yeah.
other ones, you can tell it hasn't, but I just
I think
that attitude. I can't stand it. You see it
yeah,
so much in LA. Like, Ashley was like, "Why do people act like this?" I was like, "Oh, this is so normal for LA." Like,
yeah,
everybody just has to pretend, pretend, pretend like they're hot shit, like, they've got so much going for them, and they've just got it going on, and they treat you like absolute, like you hate that shit. I'll be like, "Bitch, the fuck?
yeah.
Like, I don't give a fuck." Like, yeah, I hate it, but I
Yeah,
guess
I think Janet and Lala get a lot of hate too, and they let it sort of give them that chip. Do you know what I mean? Like and I guess I understand that a little bit, where they're like, they feel like everyone's attacking them, so they kind of come with that like ego instead of like being more.
what does Lala
You just
do
have to.
though? What is she like?
Oh boy, like the last season of Vanderpump did not go good for her. Everybody turned
Oh,
on her.
you know
Yeah,
what? It's because I found the last season of Vanderpump so boring, I don't even think I finished it. I know
yeah,
she was getting heat for, like, being friends with Tom or whatever, or, like,
yes.
you know
She turned against Ariana, and yeah,
yeah.
people were just not a fan of her, and I don't think she's been able to come back out of that hole yet, so hopefully this season of The Valley is good for her, but yeah, I didn't get that vibe. I'm not sure who, like, she's gonna be close with, who she's gonna have beef with. They didn't spill any of that, which is annoying. I get they have to keep their shows under wraps, but some of the shows that haven't aired yet or are airing, it was hard to get any info at the panel because they didn't wanna spill too much, but we still got, I think, quite a lot out of this
Yeah,
Valley one, so
yeah,
good way to kick off Bravocon. That was a great way to start, and then we went to the Potomac panel. I think
yeah.
that was my favorite of the whole
Same,
weekend.
absolutely. It was, if I know that the panels are streaming on HAYU, so there are you
Yeah,
can catch some of them. Obviously, to catch all of them would be super crazy, but if you want to one that me and Ashley, like, recommend, you can stream the Potomac one on HAYU. I would highly
yeah,
recommend it. I took some notes. Um
yes.
so I said Giselle throwing shade at Stacy. I have no idea what the hell I was talking about. I just know Giselle threw shade at Stacy. Ashley and her
Oh, I know
sh
what it was.
what was it?
The what remember Stacey was on Watch What Happens Live, and she had been saying shit about Giselle, and then, the moderator asked, and she was kinda like, "Who Stacey who?" Like, that kinda thing, remember?
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
yes. So Giselle and Ashley were being a little shady towards Stacy, of course, and they were definitely being shady towards Angel. Uh,
Yes.
Angel was there. She seemed in much better spirits. She looked great. Giselle did say she was dating someone in Vegas and that she's happy.
Mhm.
Um, so I guess Stacy suggested that Tia's accent was fake, or she didn't think that she had a real accent, and Tia
Yeah.
just said, Stacy suggests a lot of things. No one else thought or agreed that they think that Tia's accent's fake. They actually were like, if she is faking it, then she's doing a really good job because she's so consistent with it. I think that
Mhm.
Tia is a really good addition to the Potomac cast. Angel, not so much. I feel like Tia fits like right in, and she's
Yeah.
fun and she's witty and she does have like good one-liners, and I think she's just like, to me, she's so unbothered and she's so, like, not messy, like, she's just in her own little world. I really like Tia. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think Tia's a great addition. I love watching her. Angel, opposite feeling for her,
Yeah,
so
Wendy actually said that Tia is her favorite newbie, and of
Mhm.
course, obviously, everybody took that as a shade to Angel, like, I think Angel
Yeah.
actually made a face. Um So angels can be shady and still okay, so Angel was saying on the panel that, what she learned is that she went in with an open heart and open mind, and that she had to learn that you can still be good friend you could still be shady, but then, like, still be good friends, and
Yeah.
I think that she was taking everything so personal, like,
Mhm.
during the season, and again, the season is still airing, so I do
Yeah.
think that she realized, like, looking back, that she was taking everything so personal, and it wasn't like, just because the girls are being, like, a little shady and saying, "Oh, you don't look like your pictures," like, that doesn't mean that they're not your friend. It's just like they're you we're we're doing a show. Like, we
Yeah.
can't all be fucking kumbaya and fucking peaches and rainbows over here. So she seemed to, like, try and take a little bit of accountability,
Mhm.
a little bit for, like, how sensitive and annoying she was. Because I think all of the viewers kind of I don't even did she get booed? No, she didn't get booed. Maybe I was just internally
No, you know what? Yeah, she definitely didn't get, like, a cheer, but and
Okay.
I think there was one point when she was basically like, I'll be back," or like, "You can't get rid of me that easy,"
Yeah.
or something like
Yeah,
that, right? Yeah.
that was towards the end because one of the audience members, they were asking who if who doesn't fit and they were
Right.
asking Giselle and Ashley, like, who doesn't fit into this group, basically, and they both, like, didn't say Angel, but they were both like, "She's on that end
That
of the
coach.
couch," and the only person over there was Tia and Angel, and everybody, ranted about how much they love Tia, so it was clearly Angel. Ashley and Giselle said that they would, kick her out the group if they could, and Angel
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, I'm not going anywhere, like, you can't get rid of
Mhm.
me that good." So she seems to be in good spirits about nobody liking her. So
Yeah.
Angel did go on to say that her opinions of the girls have, like, nothing to do with Kay, which I don't believe.
Mhm.
So Kay also said something to about Stacy and Wendy's friendship being convenient. Wendy was there on the panel, which everybody was surprised to see with the allegations going around. The allegations
Mhm.
did come up, but not from the panel. It came up from an audience question, which I don't
Yeah.
think they directly asked about the allegations, but they asked about Ashley publicly saying something about the allegations. And I guess
Yeah.
Ashley um had said that she's not surprised about the allegations, right? She publicly said that she, like, wasn't surprised, and you can tell there was tension between Ashley and Wendy on the panel. Ashley did take a moment to apologize to Wendy, and she was like, "You know, I
Mhm.
shouldn't have said that. I spoke out of turn. I haven't been able to talk to you backstage or whatever, so I'm taking this moment to, like, apologize. You can accept it or not." And Wendy was like, not like, like, it was very catty, like, she was like, "And I don't," like, you know what I mean? And so Ashley was like, "Okay, you could be cute if you want to," and obviously, when you say that somebody's being cute, like, that's shade, right? So she's like, "Oh, you
Mhm.
can be cute if you want to," like, but whatever, so there's definitely something going on there, but I think that was the gist of, like, the allegations coming up was
Mhm.
What Ashley had said publicly about it, and then Ashley tried to, like, apologize for it,
Yeah.
so, yeah, Kay alluded to Stacey and Wendy's friendship being convenient. Monique said so we see Monique return on this week's episode or last week's episode of Potomac. So by the time Bravocon came, she had only like been in one episode. She says that her main difference is she's noticing this season the girls taking a lack of accountability in the group as opposed to
Yeah.
like past, like that they would kind of just fess up and be like, I said what I said, I did what I did. But there's a lot of like he said, she said, and a lot of like talking behind backs and then not like, you know, fessing up to your words, and she said that we won't be seeing her dating, this season, that she's focused on co-parenting. They did obviously talk about Karen, who was at BravoCon, but she was not at the panel. We did get to see her at the Bravo Awards, which was nice.
Mhm.
Um, Giselle kind of spoke on Karen, just, Ashley posted a clip if you guys wanna see that. She just said that she spent her time since her release, she's being accountable, wants to be in a better place on the journey, she's doing the work, and that she looks great.
Yeah.
And that Giselle has given her all the tea, about the season. She's got her caught up on all the tea. Tay, which I guess is Karen's husband, has been
Uh,
is that his name? Tay? Or whatever Karen's
I
husband
don't
is.
Ray. Isn't it
Ray,
Ray?
maybe
Yeah.
maybe
I'm
like,
like, Tay
I
doesn't sound
both
right.
Ray has been protective of
Yeah, right.
women. And then they gave us a sneak peek of, like, the rest of the season, and I just one clip that I wrote down was that there was, like, a clip of, like, Angel possibly being evicted or some eviction
Yeah.
stuff with Bobby was in the audience, you guys, a very good looking in person, by the way. Um
Yes.
yeah, and then so they gave, like, a sneak peek of the season, and we see something about Angel's eviction, that's what, like, stuck out to me, and then, of course, Karen comes home, and we see a clip that Andy shows up at her door, and they're actually gonna do an interview, so we will see
Mhm.
that coming later in the season, and then something, like, is something about Wendy having marital issues, or an Angel not wanting to discuss something about her and her husband. So those were the big key points that stuck out to me enough to like write them down, like Wendy
Yeah.
having marital issues, Angel, something with her and her husband, Karen coming home in the interview, and then this eviction. So it does look like the rest of the season's going to be pretty juicy.
Well, I
Um,
think that part where Wendy was talking about her marriage, they picked up the cameras after this arrest stuff, and that little combo was after that. So she was like, What is this gonna do to our marriage?" I think. Like, I
well,
don't remember if
that
that
would
was
be
for
good.
sure.
That would be
Yeah,
good. That would
because
be good.
they picked the cameras up for Karen's release, and then I think they did pick them up for this Wendy stuff too. So that's gonna be a juicy rest of the season for sure.
Juicy, juicy. And then
Yeah.
that's at this point of the panel is when we got into the audience questions. And I think the first question was like basically asking Ashley, like, what has Giselle done to like have your back that wasn't self-serving? Like it
Yeah.
was shady. Like everybody was like, ooh, like there were so many Oz and, like, Giselle was, like, snapping back at the fan, like, and all Ashley really said is that, like, Giselle's her number 1 wing woman and that
Yeah,
it's
she couldn't
important.
give any examples,
She
really.
couldn't give any examples. She basically said she's a good wing woman, and if she did meet a guy, it's most likely gonna be somebody that Giselle introduced her to. I don't really
Mhm.
know how that answered the question because it
No.
didn't at all.
No.
And then, Giselle kind of was just like, "Yeah, rewatch the show, boo."
Yeah.
Like, you know what
Oh,
I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
yeah, and then somebody asked Angel if she, like, regrets coming on the show or her behavior or something like that. She says she doesn't live with regrets. And then another person came up and just said how, Potomac has paved the way for, other all black, casts or all black shows to like thrive. And they talked about how Atlanta, and I will say that that is a main reason why I love Potomac and I resonate with Potomac. There's something about like representation and seeing people who look like you, and I think that's a major reason why I love Potomac and maybe why I can't like really resonate with OC because I'm like, what the fuck? Like, just not
Yeah.
nobody. There's not nobody on this cast that kind of sort of looks like me. So they just talked about how Atlanta paved the way for women of color in the housewife space, and they hope to do that for other shows.
Mhm.
They gave a shout out to Nene Leakes. They said without them, there would be no Potomac. They did ask Ashley about Josh. She said yes and no to being with Josh. She said it's
Mhm.
hard to quit him. So I think they're still doing the horizontal mamba is what it sounded like to me. Um, and somebody asked Ashley for relationship advice, and then she said something along the lines of like she advises to have a boyfriend in public and have a boyfriend in private. Like have one that you take out publicly, but then have one that nobody knows about.
Yeah, like a little
Which
side one.
interesting, because somebody made a side comment like, "Well, no, like basically, well, no, on this show, you need to know about the private one too." Which
Yeah.
fair because Giselle's been trying to keep her shit private, and then it's like, no, like it needs to come out. And then at the end was the question where they said they would boot Angel, where Ashley and Giselle said that they would boot Angel. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, don't blame them for that one, but
yeah,
yeah, I thought that was my most exciting panel, which speaking
yeah,
of representation, I thought it was so silly that the Potomac panel was like half empty, like there weren't a lot of people there. Then we went to the Beverly Hills later and it was like packed out the door, and I would say that Potomac is a much better show. So I
yeah.
don't know if that's just to do with like obviously Beverly Hills is close to Vegas. There might be just a lot more fans in the
Yeah,
general
or it
area.
could also be the timing of the panels. I
Yeah.
think that the earlier ones just, which I think Potomac was quite early. The
Mhm.
earlier ones, just people kind of like, especially depending on what they did the night before, they just kind of roll in there when they get in. So I think
Not
like,
9:30 like me every
oh,
day.
like I think like all like sometimes you miss the panels because it's just
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know
it was, like, top of our list, so we were not gonna
top
miss
of
it.
our
And I
list.
know the show in general gets better ratings, I believe, like, more watchers than, like, Beverly Hills, so I just thought that was weird, but it also might have to do with, like, Beverly Hills has maybe more people that even if you don't watch the show, you wanna see them, like a Kathy Hilton, you know what I mean? You might not
Yeah,
even be, like, a big fan of the show, but you're like, "I gotta see what Kathy's gonna say," or, "I gotta see with, like, what, like, going on with Kyle and her is she a lesbian or not?" Like, there's maybe
yeah.
more, like, tea but, I mean, Wendy's stuff in the
The
news,
Wendy so they did say
Karen,
that
there's so
the
much.
Wendy allegations that we're gonna hear more about it at the reunion, of course,
Right.
and what Ashley did say, because I wrote it down here, she said she was hot in the pants with what she said about Wendy. So this is her, like, kind of trying to fess up and apologize.
Yeah,
She said it wasn't the time or the place. She was trying to be lighthearted about the situation, and it wasn't, not a lighthearted situation, and she apologized, and
yeah,
it said that Wendy didn't wanna talk to her backstage, and she said, "Accept or not," and she said, I will not," which is what I was telling you guys earlier.
right.
"That's fine, glad you're being cute. Not gonna not be friends with Wendy anymore just because of what's going on with her." I guess people were expecting Giselle not to be friends with Wendy because of what's going on with her, so Giselle said that she's not gonna. I don't know who does that, who would just drop their friend because they have, like, some
Yeah.
allegations, but that was basically the gist of the panel, and that's how it ended with Giselle saying, I was in there
Mhm.
typing, but
Yeah.
yeah, and then we
I know,
did
I was taking videos and she's like, "I'm gonna take notes." I'm like, "Genius. Yes, you
yeah,
do
because
notes, all the
Ashley
clips."
has really good memory, so she can just remember. I cannot. Like, I if I didn't write these notes down, I would have been like,
Well,
"What is on that fucking
I
panel?"
was gonna say, I wouldn't have remembered half of that either, so I'm glad that you did that. We probably should have done that for all of the panels, but I feel like a lot of them didn't have that kind of, like, constant back and forth. A lot of them, it
Yeah,
was easy, like the Valley, to pick out the tea because there was, like, 3 or 4 big moments and the
yeah.
rest was kinda meh, so
Yeah,
that one
this
needed
was
notes.
so good, like,
Yeah,
honestly, there was, like, little tidbits of tea because, like, the shade would just come out of nowhere with somebody just, like, making a side comment, so like we said,
yeah,
if you guys want to stream any panel, we would highly suggest watching that one, and it is available for streaming on HAYU. Do you want to tell us about the Beverly Hills panel? Wait, are we
Well,
we're still on day 1. We're still
yeah, we're still
on
on
day
day
1.
1. Before that, we saw the Ask Andy panel.
Oh, yes.
So, that was a hard watch. Jeff Jeff Lewis was moderating. I'm sure maybe you've seen online that he was in a bit of a spicy mood. I'm not a Jeff Lewis live listener, so I don't really know his normal temperament. I've seen him do a couple interviews where he's a little I think it's his shtick is to not be nice to people, right? He's
Right,
kinda
right,
sassy,
right.
he's very sassy. So, it was a sassy panel. You could tell that Andy was really annoyed with him, and I don't think we didn't really get any big announcements from that one. I saw the Ask Andy on Sunday, which we got a lot of announcements, so we'll get to that one. But this one was more I don't know. Jeff was really taking it over to a point where Andy was like, "What? Why am I here? Do you want to just do your own panel?" Like they were having a little bicker fest. So,
Yes, it
and
was. I was like, "Oh, these 2 people hate each other." Like, like,
well, and
what?
I was like, "No," he said Jeff would like be his successor if he like retires, and Ricky was like, "What? Like this guy hates him. I can't even
Yeah,
believe that." So
yeah,
most of it was about Jeff's show coming back. I guess like is it flipping out or something? Still
yeah,
flipping out. So that was a big part of it. Jeff complained about how much the ladies get glam. Like, who cares? You're a man. You have a lot of Botox. Let the ladies do what they want to do because his
yeah.
face is
It's stuck. He
classic.
looks awful, guys. He acts absolutely awful.
And yeah, the audience questions is where it got really tricky. There's a really awkward moment where somebody came up, and I get it. They give rules. They're like, keep it to a question. Don't ask for tickets of stuff. Don't tell like personal stuff. And someone got up there basically saying that they had been in recovery, and they failed out of their recovery right before Bravocon. And Jeff, right to this guy's face, was like, this is not a place to come if you're in recovery. Like that was a bad idea, and it was
Mhm,
very awkward, like painfully
mhm.
awkward. So, yeah,
Yeah.
Jeff was just he was in a
He was
mood.
so
So,
nasty. Like, I think even with that question, I remember specifically that he was trying to say how he was in such a dark place and, like, these shows, like, really saved his life, and, like,
yeah,
you could tell Jeff was about to make a smart ass comment, like, "Oh," I think he was gonna say, "Well, what's your question?" And Andy literally had to stop him and was like, "Stop, like, stop it."
yeah,
Like, and he was like, "Okay." And it's like, I get it, like, if it's, like, your thing to be an asshole, like, Simon Cowell, I think, like, got big by, like, being an asshole, but there's levels to it, and to me, it was just, like, it was too much. Like, he was really trying to, like, lean into
yeah.
this asshole persona, you know?
Yeah, so it wasn't very fun to watch. They just seemed I mean, I love Andy, but he seemed grumpy because of Jeff, and Jeff was just grumpy, so it was just like 2 grumpy men. It was not a
Yeah.
lot of tea, and the audience questions were kinda meh. So, if you wanna see that Jeff be spicy, stream that one on HeyU, but yeah, I didn't love it. This was actually my first time seeing an Ask Andy because last time they put them at first thing in the morning, and I was less invested at that time, and I was rolling in at like 11:30, so I didn't see them last time. So I was like, I want to see the announcements. Thankfully, that one came on Sunday, but this one didn't have a lot of big news. So it was fine though. It was good to see their interaction.
Mhm.
Then there was the Beverly Hills panel. So Ricky has never watched that one. So
I
we
think
watched
I was kind of falling asleep, you guys, I'm not gonna
yeah,
lie.
we stayed for half, and then I was like, their season is literally about to air in a week or 2, and so
Yeah.
they couldn't say really anything. It was
Yeah,
very
we're
dry.
gonna watch it though. We are gonna
Okay.
watch this upcoming season, and you know, I will get the lore from Ashley as I watch,
Yes.
so I'm pretty sure, like, had this been in a week from now, BravoCon been 2 weekends from now, I would have been all locked into Beverly Hills, but I'm like, "I
Yeah.
don't know any of these people."
Yeah, I don't blame you. Like, that would be painful to sit through an hour
No,
panel of not
I'm
knowing,
down.
so
I'm down for whatever Ashley's down for. I'm
yeah.
like, "Well, don't you worry about me, I'm just here."
Yeah. So there really wasn't much going on. Then we ended up leaving that one a little early just because they weren't given much, and we haven't watched the season. It was all old news. I'm like, this is just a waste of our time. There's so much happening here. Obviously, Rachel Zoe is on, so that was cool to see her. They did shade. There's another new girl. I think her name's Amanda. She wasn't there. Interestingly enough, I don't know what's happening there because normally the whole cast would be there, but the new girl wasn't there. And they said something about like because I think the question was who has changed their style to be like Rachel Zoe, and they were like, the person's not here. So that's very tiny shade. We need more than that. So there wasn't a lot going on. That one, I'm still excited for the season, and like you said, had this panel been in a few weeks, we would have had more topics, but they should have
Yeah,
let them spill a little bit of the season. They
yeah,
did show us a trailer, right?
yeah,
Or like yeah,
yeah,
so but yeah, hard to talk about things when we haven't watched it yet, so, always good to see the ladies, and I think we'll enjoy the season, but the panel, not the best, not my favorite,
obsessed,
so
okay.
yeah, so we left that one early to go back to the VIP and see what kind of tea we could drag up, so
Yeah,
I can't remember who we saw next, but I know we did ask a lot of questions in the well, we just posted a clip of Captain Jason, we saw him in the bazaar area, like, some of them I did feel like there was less of that this time. Last time they had merch booths and they would all spend a little time at their merch booths. We did see a few of them do that. There probably was more that we missed. It's hard to do everything because all simultaneous, so you're, like,
yeah,
flopping around, but we asked Captain Jason about Heather. Now this was the most over asked question and topic of the whole weekend. Every time I saw Captain Jason do an interview, we saw him give an answer, but I felt like he kept his answers very cute until we asked him where he was a little more shady to Heather. We asked, "Did you hook up with Heather?" And he said, "No, she just likes to play games." So,
and
I don't
then
know if
I
he
think the part that we didn't catch in the clip was he literally said, "This is her job. This is what she does."
yeah,
You know, so I don't know if we captured that in the clip, but the thing is the reason why people keep asking is because on Watch What Happened Live, he said no, and then right after that, Heather went on and said, "What? He said nothing happened? I guess if that's what if that's what he considers a nothing,"
yeah,
and then for the rest of the time joked about it like, "Nope, nothing happened, nothing happened," obviously alluding to the fact that something happened. And then on the Salt Lake City panel, when asked again, she said, "Nothing happened, we're just friends." So it's like, I don't know, like, because on Watch What Happened Live, she was like blatantly shady, blatantly alluding to if that's what he considers nothing. So it's like, what
yeah,
the fuck happened with these 2, you know?
yeah. Yeah, I think basically, like, it seemed like he was answering shady, but I think what he was saying is, she knows what she's doing. She knows how to get people talking. And yeah, I don't know if she asked him beforehand, but it's like it was said on the show and obviously started a lot of people talking. And so she's continuing that to keep going. So,
Yeah.
but he seemed like very over it. Like, no, it didn't happen. So
Yes, and
I
speaking
don't
of
know. Like,
Captain Jason, like, Adriana from Housewives of OC, at this Bravocon, she's still talking about her hookup with Captain Jason, which is apparently old.
yeah, I can't remember if that was last BravoCon. This is the thing. Last BravoCon, this was the same thing. It was all about who's talking to Captain Jason, who's hooking up with him. It's getting a little old at this point. We need a new Captain Jason. I'm sure he's sick of it. I guess there's just not a lot. Like I said, there's not a lot of single hot men, especially in the age range of the housewives, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
we've got the Southern Charm guys, but I mean, Shep is in his 40s, but a lot of them are like early 30s, right? 20s,
mhm.
30s. So Captain Jason is someone that they might it seems normal that they might actually hook up with him, and so he makes his rounds. So,
You guys, he was, like, getting swarmed. I
yeah.
it was so insane to me, like,
Mhm.
it was like, "What the people really like this guy," like, so he was, like,
Yeah.
getting swarmed.
Yeah, so I can't remember what I know, like, there was a thing about he had gone to her house a few times. It was basically the same thing that happened with this Heather thing, where she said
Yeah,
he came over, he said it was
she's
just
she
friends.
said, "We shared a kiss under the moonlight," in the clip that I seen from Bravo 2025. She said,
Yeah.
"It was a special moment, and we shared a kiss under the moonlight." And then Kiki was there opposite of her, saying everything that he said on Watch What Happens Live, like, "Well, that's not what he said, and he said he thinks you
Mhm.
hired paparazzi to be outside and capture you guys together, and he," because even when, Adriana said, "Oh, he said you guys shared a kiss," or when Adriana was like, "We shared a kiss under the moonlight," Kiki was like, "That's not what he said." Like, it was just so
Yeah.
funny. It's a funny clip. Um, so who knows?
I just
Did
don't know.
he
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I believe that he's hanging out with all these housewives as friends. Like he's going to Adriana's house as a friend. You're single, she's hot, you're hot. Same with like the Heather. You're just hanging out in Australia as friends. Like I think something's happening for sure, but he should be smart enough to know he can't hook up with a housewife and they're not going to spill the beans when you're the hottest commodity. They're going to want to be known for that. So Either he
Yeah.
needs to start dating non-housewives or just lean into it a little more, but I think
Yeah.
he does
I
like
think he
it
is
secretly.
leaning into it. I think this is
Yeah.
his, like, leaning into it plausible deniability. It's just like,
Yeah,
yeah, this is gonna
and
be
I
my
mean
thing for them to all say they hooked up with me, and then, like, me just be like, "No, oh my god, no, oh my god." Yeah.
right? And yeah, it keeps us talking about him. He's been the biggest topic again. That's like the one thing people want to ask. So I guess it is smart, but I do feel like we need to move on and like some other hookups happen because this is
Yeah.
getting a little old. So, who else did we see in the VIP room? We saw Terry DeBro. So we asked him, "Will you guys be back for season 20?" His answer was he seemed kind of annoyed. He was like, "I don't know, like Bravo decides." Instead of being like, "I hope so," or like, "I would love to," he was definitely it seemed like a sore spot, although as though like he's not really sure, you know? That's
Mhm.
what the vibe I got. It
Yeah.
wasn't like a, "Yeah, we're gonna be back," or I would assume so. He was kinda like, Bravo has to decide. They might be a little nervous because as we saw, because I think that we talked to him after the Vicky announcement, so we'll get
Yeah.
into the Vicky announcement. We saw that live at the Bravos that night, so
Yeah.
we took off from Bravocon because we had a dinner at 6 o'clock, which we were at this event, Bravocon, at 4 o'clock, and, girls take a while to get ready, so we're
Yes.
like and
Yeah.
Ricky had to go all the way to the Cosmopolitan, so
Yeah.
I'm like, "We gotta get the hell out of here, or we're not
Yeah.
making this dinner." After we left Bravocon, and then we went and got ready, and then we had a dinner with HAYU, that was beautiful at Vanderpump, Pinky's by Vanderpump. So that's Lisa Vanderpump's new restaurant in the Flamingo. So super convenient for me. It was just downstairs. And yeah, they had a few other influencers there. I don't know. I don't call myself an influencer. It's not, they had influencers there. We're podcasters. So
We're podcast.
no, I don't know we're not bloggers. That's all I know.
We're
So
not
there
bloggers, and I did notice on the Real Housewives of Orange County, I love that they were calling Kiki Monique a blogger, and Andy was corrected them and was like, "No, she's not a blogger. She's actually a podcaster, and she has a show on my network." So
yes.
it's not only us that gets offended by the term bloggers, like it's
Yeah.
like a known thing that, like,
I know.
Anywho,
I feel like it's just an older, outdated word to say content creator, right? So when you say blogger, it just makes you sound like an older person. Speaking of that, we will get into seeing Nick Vial, but we're not there yet. So Um, but yeah, there was some people at the table that you might know. There was, 2 at our table that were, like, so kind, so nice, Emily, the recruiter, and Josh Zilberg, I think is how you say it, and yeah, they were very kind. I don't know if they do reality TV content as, like, their main thing, but they live in Canada, and they do talk about it a little, I think, and they're, like, fans personally of it, so they were
yeah,
there, and they were so kind. So,
yeah, so
appreciate it
nice.
chatting
So
with them.
nice to talk to them about it. Yeah, you could tell that they were very enthusiastic
Mhm.
about it, and we all followed each other, and it was super nice. Lisa Vanderpump was there, which was super exciting. She was walking around taking pictures. It was really, really cool that people actually came up to me and Ashley and asked for pictures, which
Yeah.
totally made me feel like Beyonce. Like, I was like, "Oh my god." Like, I think that's the first time someone's ever asked me for a picture. Like, I have had people, like, be like, "Oh, oh my god, I love your content," but I've never had anyone, like, actually ask for a picture, so that was a lot of fun to
Yeah.
meet some of our listeners, like, that was so much
Ri
fun.
yeah, Ricky definitely had a lot more. I think people recognize you because you are on your page. Even some people would be like, "Where do I know her from?" I'm like, "Story time with Ricky," and so she got lots of people ask, but a couple of times people knew us both from the podcast, which was so cool because you think,
Yeah,
like, no one really listens or knows, and so it was so fun, like, actually talking to people out in public, and whoever we met was so kind and so nice, so we love you guys for listening, and yeah, it was fun to see people at this event because we know they're all reality TV junkies like us, so
yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So, after dinner and, after the HAYU dinner sponsored by HAYU, we then actually went to Watch What Happens Live, and it was
Mhm.
like the Bravo Awards or
Yeah.
whatever, and HAYU actually had an extra ticket, so I was able to go, and I was super
Yeah.
excited. It was really cool to just see the taping. Of course, all of the housewives were there. We got to see Karen. She made her first appearance since being released from prison. We got to hear all the acceptance speeches. What else did we
They
see?
gave, Vicky
Oh,
her orange, so Vicky will be returning to the Real Housewives of Orange County for season 20, so that was a fun moment. She got very teary-eyed, and she didn't know that Andy was gonna do that on stage. She thought she was just there for candy because she was getting the Lifetime Achievement Award, which Vicky received at the last Bravocon, so she thought she was just there to, like, introduce candy, so they surprised her with the orange on stage, so that was cool. And yeah, it's cool to see how they do the Watch What Happens Live. You're not allowed to like record, even though I did a couple times. Don't get mad at me,
mhm.
Bravo.
To
But
get y'all some clips. You see, she woulda got kicked out for you
imagine.
guys just to get the clip. So she did actually get a clip of Vicky. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, it is up on Ashley's page, of her receiving the orange. She also snapped a photo of Karen, because when she came out, obviously everyone was super shocked. Like,
Yeah,
it was a really fun show. I liked Andy's opening. It was,
yeah, the song.
the song, it was really good,
Yeah.
like, little bits of shade throughout
Mhm.
obviously.
Yeah, he did shade Craig pretty good. He said something like someone that's a successful podcaster and millionaire and traveler, and he's like, "No, that's your ex page." So that was funny. That was
He
a good
shaded
little moment.
Slade too, he shaded Slade a little, yeah,
Yes.
there was some shade. It was, like, subtle, like, really obviously, like, good, like, slick
Yeah.
shade, which I think Andy is, like, really good at, so,
Yeah, I
that
was
was
telling Ricky, I went to Watch What Happens Live last time, and usually they're very shady. They have a lot of squash the beefs and a lot of drama, which is always fun to watch. But this one was a little less shady just because it was the Bravo. So it was a lot of awards that people were getting. So still really good to watch and really fun, but less shady than the other shows. I think the reading room one was the next night, and that one was very shady, I heard. So I think they're streaming all of them on HAYU. So if you want to watch them, they're usually lots of, beef starts from those shows, so
yeah, I do know that, obviously Adriana won for her line of the
yeah.
Haitian musician. And she has been riding that wave ever since, because then the next day at the panel, she was had the crowd chanting Haitian mortician, like, it's a lot, Adriana, it's a lot. I definitely think she's milking it, but it
Uh-huh.
was like, Julia was like, "You're welcome," like, basically for giving you, like, a moment, but it was fun. It was my first Watch What Happens Live. It was definitely a vibe. It was cool to just be in the atmosphere. It was really a fun
Yeah.
night with him.
Yeah, then they were heading to Hakkasan to see Kyle Cook DJ, which we were invited to, and we're lame and we couldn't make it, so I'm
Oh my
really
god,
kicking
you guys.
myself now.
I know. I am kicking myself now because obviously, like, that's the main that would have been, like, I think the main source of tea, because we would have just been like a fly on the wall in this
Mhm.
VIP section with all these Bravo celebrities, because they were all there. Like, they were all there. We heard Tom Sandoval was there. We heard, like,
Well, we heard he wasn't allowed in. He was trying to get into Kyle's booth, and we heard he was rejected from the booth. So
Mm,
that would have been
yes.
great to see up close and personal. And I know that story broke right before BravoCon that Kyle and Amanda are living separately. And obviously, we can't watch these people the entire BravoCon, but when I saw them, they weren't really interacting together. So I think that'll probably be a big part of the upcoming Summer House season. And then they also have a spinoff coming. So they didn't really announce any, like, official split, but, it's from the sounds of it, it sounds like they're not doing well, so
Yeah. Yeah, so we're lame. We went home after the dinner, but we were really pooped, you guys.
yeah, pathetic. I'm like, "What were we
Like,
thinking? We"
we were so tired though, because you have to think, like, the night before, Thursday night, then we were up
we had
early going all day, and then it's, like, on top of that, like, you're having drinks, so that just makes you tired. Like, it
mhm,
was just we were exhausted. Feet was hurting, like, it
yes.
was actually, I wore my comfortable heels that night, so my feet weren't hurting that bad, but
I brought, like, a comfy pair of wedges that I are my go-to, like, summer shoes, but then I brought a lot of cool, like, stilettos, and I was gonna brave it, but I was too much of a chicken, so I rocked the comfy wedges the whole time, but I did step up my game a lot, so thanks to Ricky, because I felt like it's like when a man gets a girlfriend and he has to, like it, like, gives him a glow up because he has to keep up with her, like, that's how I felt all weekend. I'm like, I would normally last time I went, I wore the same romper for 3 days. I just didn't care how I looked because I was like, "I'm not going in pictures. I'm here to watch people." But this time I knew I was gonna be out with Ricky and we were gonna take photos, so I had my little outfits, I dressed up every day, so you elevated my game, so thank you. I saw someone comment on one of your pictures like, "Oh, damn, you guys be hiding under those big sweaters on your podcast." And I was like, "Yeah, we have to be cozy to spill the tea," but out in Vegas, the girls were out,
The girls were
legs were out, the
out to her chin. I don't have any girls that are really tiny, but, it was a good
I
time.
don't
It was a good time.
without the dress that was a leather dress, that sucks you in. Without that, the girls are not sitting anywhere but my knees, so
So, Ashley looked so hot. She was like, "Oh my god, I keep getting hit on."
No, only in the leather outfit. I think I was walking because I had to walk to our dinner by myself, and so when you're walking by yourself as a girl anywhere, it's like men think you want company, but you don't. You just wanna be
When
alone, so
think you want company and you don't. So, yeah, that was actually night 1. That was just night 1. Oh my
yeah.
god, we've been going for over an hour
Woo!
on night 1. But I will say night 1 was probably, like, because of the HAYU dinner and because of all of the panels we visited, it was probably the most exciting day. So day 2, you guys, when I tell you, like, I had the door from hell at the Cosmo, like, first of all, I realized that I had the door from hell as soon as I walked in, but because we were going go, 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 when I tell you it was, like, actually hanging off the door hinges, like, it was actually coming off the door hinges, so every time I left, the door would just be like, boop, like, it would be like a crack, like, this way, like, it just wouldn't close, and because
Oh
we
my
had so
god.
much to do, I would have to, like, lift the door and, like, slam it shut, or, like, if I was inside the room, like, literally throw my body against the door, so
Mhm.
of course, on the way to the Hey You dinner is when the door just wouldn't close at all. Like, it didn't matter if I tried to force it, it didn't matter if I tried to pull it, like, and do what I had been doing before, it just wouldn't freaking close, but I couldn't miss the dinner. It was probably, like, the most important dinner of the entire weekend, so I just
Yeah.
left the damn door open and prayed and wished that nobody went in there and stole shit. I
Yeah.
called them, they said they were gonna fix it, they didn't fix it. I came home Friday night, they said they were gonna fix it, they didn't fix it. And then Saturday morning, I ended up being late to Bravocon because I was like, "I can't leave my room
Yeah.
completely open again for the whole entire day."
Mhm.
So, I'm like, "Just change my freaking room at this point." Then they sent a maintenance guy to fix it. It took him 2 hours to fix it, and I'm like, "Well, I can't, like, shower and get ready while there's men in my room." Like,
Yeah.
so it was, the Cosmo usually does me good, but not this time. It was
No.
an absolute disaster, and all they offered was a $200 food and beverage credit, which we
We
used.
used. Yeah. So that was nice of them. So thank you for that. But yeah, frustrating because we were already like so tight on our schedule and then your door kept delaying you. But that's okay because I went over early. I wanted to see the traders panel. Ricky's not watched that one yet. So it actually worked out fine because I was like, I need to go see this traders one and just missed that and you didn't know that one really anyway. So that was fine.
So did
And
anything good come from the traders panel? What did we learn?
well, they had 4 of the new cast came out. They brought out Dorinda. They brought out
Yeah.
before they brought out some cast members from the upcoming season, which drops in January, which I think we'll cover because you'll like it. It's really, really good, and there'll be people you
Mhm.
know from other shows.
Okay.
But before that, they had people from the previous season. So they had Tom Sandoval. He literally wore. So there's one viral moment from when he was on last season where he was singing in this really bad voice, and he had a little doll, and he wore the same shirt and he brought the doll. So he's very I think after having a couple years of everybody hating him, that was a moment where people were, like, laughing at him, and he was, like he's holding on tightly to
Mhm.
that moment. So so he recreated the singing. There was a little moment the host was Danny Pellegrino, I think he does, like, a podcast too and some other stuff, and there's a little moment between him and Sierra from Summer House because he asked, like, "Is Kyle a faithful or a traitor to Amanda?" That's the ones we talked about that are splitting,
Yeah.
and she doesn't play about her friends at all, and so she was like, "Don't do that, like, don't be aggressive," and she got, like, a little mad at him, which is
Oh,
awkward
wow.
because I know they're just doing their job, right? If they don't ask the questions, we get upset, but he went maybe a little too far with that one, but I'm assuming I don't think they make up their own questions. I would assume, like
I don't think that that's too far. I think that as a
no.
host, it is your job to push the boundaries in a respectful way and get like as a host, your job is to get the questions answered. You know what I mean? So if you don't ask, the audience is mad. And I don't that it doesn't sound like he asked in an aggressive way,
Mhm.
you know?
No,
So
he's very, like, not meek, I don't know what the word is, gentle, like, kind, quiet, like, this question was very I don't think something we normally see from him, and so I think it was probably really hard for him to ask, and she was not happy about it. So, that was a little awkward, but also an entertaining moment. They brought Dorinda out from the new season, and she got teary because she got voted out immediately last time. So, she had all these outfits, she was all ready, we were all excited to see her on TV again, and then she was only there for a day, so so they brought her
oh,
yeah, it was sad, but they brought her back for next season, so she got teary-eyed talking about it. I hope that she stays longer this time, we all wanna see her, but couldn't really get a read from, like, what she said, if she stays longer or not, but we'll see. And there's also someone from Top Chef, which I don't watch that one, but her name's, Kristen Kish, so
yeah.
she's really beautiful, and she seems like a nice person, but I didn't watch her show, so I don't know what she'll be like as a traitor or faithful. She seems more like a faithful. She seems like a nice person. Not like too much tea. It's hard because people were from like different seasons of the show, and so they kind of were just they gave us a little sneak peek of next season, but it wasn't really a sneak peek in terms of like plot. It was just like their title cards, kind of like the cast. So
Okay.
but it's a really good show. The fashion is good, it's the production of it and the editing is so much better than a lot of other shows, so I think you're gonna like it. I'm excited for you to watch for the first time. So the people they brought out from next season were Carolyn Stansbury, you remember we saw her on Real Housewives of London for a minute? She, like,
Yeah.
has the bob
Yeah.
yeah, and then Portia from Real Housewives of Atlanta, so she's gonna be really good, and then the other 2, Dorinda and Kristen, so looks like a good season, but
Yeah.
then, we went into the little Bravo Bazaar area, and our friend Nick Viall was in there, so I'll just say it's a Bravo event. Everyone was a Bravo leb. That's all we really saw all weekend. He's the only person not a Bravo leb that had a photo line going, so he was getting in on the Bravo celebrity action. I mean, to be fair, people were in his photo line, not a lot, a few.
Uh-huh.
When we saw it, it was a short line, but
Yeah.
people were there. He was there with a brand, not with Bravo, so there's like a brands pay for booths, and they have booths in the event, and so they obviously paid him to come and stand at their booth. So
Yeah.
for me, I would find that beyond awkward just being like it's if you're on like not on like he was on The Bachelor, right? Like, he has nothing to do with Bravo except for interviewing them, I guess, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Like what do you think? Do you think it was funny or
I just thought it seemed a little out of place, like, when he said he was going to be there, I just thought he meant, like, as press. We did see a lot of people from his team around with press passes,
yeah.
me and the one girl, I don't know her name, but we definitely, like, locked eyes, and it's just, like, you can tell when somebody knows who you are, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? So, I think there was no way on God's green earth that Nick was going to acknowledge us or act as though he knows who we are. I think he's very much gonna pretend like he has no clue who we are. But like you said, it seemed a little out of place to be not a Bravo celebrity with a photo booth, but I mean, at least he had people in his line. Good for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't empty. I saw it with a couple
Yeah.
people, so
Mhm.
but yeah, he definitely wasn't at the panels like his team was, and so
Mhm.
it's just kind of funny because he's very out of place, and I mean, obviously, you're new to watching Bravo too, so that's fine. He doesn't know a lot of backstories, he doesn't know a lot that's going on, but he gets these big interviews because he has a big platform, and so
Yeah.
at least his team watched the panel, so they can fill him in. But, like, I heard a part of their episode today talking about Bravocon, and he said no other house husbands but Slade were taking photos, like, that's obviously beyond untrue because we have a ton of videos with him, and I think all the husbands were, so
All of
he's
them.
lo
Slade was, Terry
Terry,
was, like, all of
Seth, yeah.
Seth was, yeah, like, we actually talked to Seth and we what did we ask him? We asked him about
Yeah, we
where
asked him about the TikTok, and he said,
yeah,
"Oh, the TikTok that it doesn't exist," and then he said, "I wouldn't cheat on the hottest woman in the world." And he also we asked about the airplane thing, and he said, "Yeah, no video, no evidence." So, we got lots of tea from the husband.
Yeah, we got lots of tea from Seth, but then Ashley's phone ran out of storage
Yeah,
like, right when we were asking
the
him.
worst.
I think we'll probably post, like, what we did get, but, like,
Yeah,
he basically said that the TikTok doesn't exist, even though they were playing the TikTok on the episode, so it definitely does exist, rather it's still up or deleted. It did
mhm,
exist at one point because me and Ashley looked for it as well, and we couldn't find it, so he was like, "The TikTok that doesn't exist, I would never cheat on the most beautiful woman in the world,"
yeah.
which is kind of like,
It
okay,
wasn't really
that's
a no, yeah.
yeah, that
Like
sounds like a very PR answer, like, very
mhm,
corny answer. And then he did say, regarding the plane, basically, he's taking Meredith's side and saying,
yeah,
like, an air like, he kind of literally repeated what she said, "Oh, an air marshal would have been there, nobody caught it," like, alluding
yeah,
to the fact that it didn't happen, and then he also said, "Oh, like, people need to get their story straight, you're across the plane sleeping, and you're asleep half the time," because as we know, Mary did say she had headphones on and she was asleep half the flight, and then we also heard, Heather say that she was also asleep, but then she's saying that she witnessed this thing, so who knows?
mhm.
But
Yeah,
Seth did give us a little
we
bit. But the
yeah,
husbands were 1000% taking pictures. Brock, he's a husband, he was taking pictures. Like,
mhm. Yeah, we also talked to, Jen, OC Jen's man, Ryan, he was in there taking pictures. We asked him, "Team Tamara or Team Gretchen?" He said, "Neither, Team Jen and Ryan." So, I guess he has like, we were trying to find out, like, if Jen and Gretchen are cool now because 'cause we're still waiting on that 3rd part of the reunion. Doesn't sound like it, so but we'll see what happens. And then did we talk to any other husbands? We talked to Terry, we mentioned that, and talked to Seth, I don't think was there any other
I
ones?
think that
Brock?
was it. No, Brock, we told you guys what he said about
Oh,
Sheena. So
we talked to Larsa and her boyfriend, I forget his name right now.
oh, yes, Larsa and her young boo. So,
Ricky
uh
asked him when the wedding is.
like, because there's certain people that, like, there's nothing really to ask them, right?
Yeah,
Like, I'm sorry, Jen and Seth, like, I really had like, they didn't really have much of a storyline besides, like, him over sexualizing her, or did I
yeah,
say Jen and Seth? Is that
yeah,
him?
Jen and Ryan.
Ryan. I knew that
Close
wasn't I knew
enough.
Seth wasn't it.
Close
Jen
enough.
and Ryan didn't have much of a storyline besides him over sexualizing her and, like, if they're actually gonna get married or not, so there's really there's some people there's nothing to ask them, and same with Larsa, like, I'm not gonna ask about Lisa, "Are you and Lisa friends?" Because it's like, "Oh my god, that storyline is so tired."
Yeah.
So and it's like, she has this new man, and she's been saying publicly, like, she wants to get married again. We know he's super young, like, way younger than her, so I just said, "When's the wedding?"
He said next
And
year.
what I found so funny, you guys, is, like, everybody else that she was taking pictures with, like, they were, like, standing in the middle of the 2 of them, right? And so, like, I was just kind of watching what the other fans do and kind of try and mimic that, so I, like, kind of, like, went to stand in the middle of them, and she, like, locked hands with him. So I just stood on the side of her and, like,
Oh
took
my
pictures,
god.
like, because I really didn't care to take a picture with either one of them, but like I said, this
Yeah,
was
we
our
had to.
yeah, we had to, like, kind of, like, to, play the role or whatever. Because I like we said, we don't even know his name, like, we're like,
No.
"Well, oh, Larson's
Is
done."
is that picture on your phone? Because I couldn't find it. So some stuff I think you have,
Oh, okay, it
because my
might be
phone
the video
stuff
might
will
be it might be on my phone. I thought I sent
okay,
you
I'll
everything,
get
but I
you to send me the stuff later. Yeah, my phone was not behaving itself. So we got some stuff on my phone, but the rest is on your phone is nice.
I
You got the new one.
just have the regular 17, you guys, it's not
I
like the
like it.
Pro
Oh.
or the Pro Max. I was seeing everyone with their iPhone 17 Pro Maxes, and I was like, "Damn it, I shoulda got the Pro Max, I just got the 17 because the Pro Max is too expensive." But I just asked, "When's the wedding?" And she kinda just looked at him, and he was like, next year." So,
So
maybe we
funny.
can expect a Larsa wedding next year.
Maybe she did
Her
look
new
good
man.
in
How
person
old's
though,
her
right?
man? How old's her man?
30, I think. I think
Is she
30.
50?
We thought everyone looked 10 times more beautiful in person than you see on TV, except
Except
maybe
Gretchen.
Gretchen.
Sorry, and,
Which is
that's just me being, like, fully honest, like, I said that, like, in person, I was like, "Dang," like, a lot of them, like, the camera really doesn't do them justice, like, the Potomac housewives, my god, their makeup was flawless, not a wrinkle in sight.
Mhm.
Like, they looked gorgeous. They like, everyone looked, like, 10 times, like, thinner. I'm like, "When did this person get this thin?" Like, my goodness,
Mhm.
but for whatever reason, Gretchen, I think on camera looks really, really good. Like, she looks I don't know, on
Yeah.
camera, she looks, like, flawless, but in person, it just looked like Jeff Lewis, like, she just looked like she had a lot of work done on her face. Like, it
Yeah. Like dipped in formaldehyde, as Emily said.
yeah, but
So,
it looked really like, I guess on camera that, like, it looks really good, but, 'cause Larsa has a lot of work done, but in person, it didn't look bad. It didn't look
yeah.
bad, but Gretchen was the only one I was like, "Whoa," like, whoa, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Oh, so his name is Jeff Kobe and he's 31 and Larsa's 50. So
Mm,
20-year difference. But yeah,
awesome.
you walking when you're in the VIP, like if you ever do want to go, I think it's worth spending the money for VIP only because you get that room, right? Where like they hang out, you get your own photo op line. It's already expensive to go anyway. So if you're going because you actually want to see like the Bravo Lebs in the wild, the VIP is worth it. Otherwise, you don't really see them because they come in the back, they're backstage, and then they go on the panels. The VIP is the only room where they're kind of like they do go to the bazaar a little bit if they have a booth, but not as much this year. So if you're in that room, you get to see a ton of them. Like we saw just in like one little photo thing I have here, we saw like Rachel Zoe, we saw Sonia, we saw Lisa Hochstein, we saw Dorit, Sally from Southern Charm. That was just in like 10 minutes in like the room. So it's
Mhm.
worth it if you actually want to like be able to be close to them. So
We did see one girl from Southern Charm who had, like, kind of a tumultuous breakup, and I
oh,
asked her how
Vanita. We talked to Vanita. I forgot about that part. Yeah, we have that. See, I think maybe some of those videos are on your phone, or maybe I just haven't
yeah, I
had
thought
time to
I
go
sent
through.
everything, I thought I
Well, but
aired
then I
them.
think my phone wasn't working, and so it's in like the cloud somewhere. So
Okay, okay, I'll send them again, but we
yeah, we
did see
asked.
Vanita.
Yeah, we asked Vanita about JT, and she said nope, they're done. Did we ask her if she has a love interest this season, and she said like no, and then yes.
Yeah, she did we did ask her that. We said so we were like, "Are you and JT done?" And she was like, "Yes," and that she's heard that he, sold all of his property and was moving
Oh
to
yeah,
Bali. Yeah, and then I was like, "Well, will we see a love interest on the upcoming season?" And she was like, "No, but well, actually, maybe." So that
hmm
was the tea.
yeah.
So
Yeah, that was great chat with her. And do we talk to anyone else in that VIP room? Now, see, there's so many. I was forgetting some. Oh, we talked to Sai from New York, outside of the VIP room. Just she was too media trained. We asked her like when does it start filming, and she said, I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. So she gave us nothing. But she's smart. So we should have
yeah.
found her husband, is what we should have done.
Yeah, like, I'm telling you, it's like the husbands and boyfriends that aren't media trained and they don't know what they can and can't say, so you're most likely to get a slip of the tongue versus
Yeah.
talking to them directly, they know exactly what to say and what not to say.
Which reminds me, we also talked to Slade. Don't judge us, but he was right there. We had to
Yeah,
ask him because everyone's been saying that was his voice in that last little part after the finale, the one that called, and he said all the ladies know who it is, obviously. They heard the undisguised voice, and he said it's a him, which I guess maybe was obvious from the clip, but they disguised the voice. So it could have been a woman that they made sound like a man, but he said it was a man. A lot of
yeah,
people are saying Jeff Lewis.
yeah,
No, not confirmed, allegedly, but
yeah, the rumor mill is saying that it was Jeff Lewis and
which
that
Jeff Lewis is close friends with Shannon. So
that would make
grain of
sense?
salt. Yes,
Oh.
exactly.
Okay, so, I mean, and I feel like he definitely has a voice that would be, like, recognizable, so
Yeah.
but Slade said it wasn't him, and even if it was him, he wouldn't have said it was him, but he was just right there, and we just thought he'd like, I'm telling you, like, you ask one question, and they just like, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah, 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 but
Yeah.
I think in that moment, somebody actually like, I was talking to Slade, and then somebody was like, "Are you?" And it interrupted our
Yeah.
little I got distracted. So, but yeah, I'm sure I could have found something else to ask him. I would have liked to know why he didn't go to the reunion, even though I
Mhm.
mean, the on the surface answer is like, oh, everyone says that I want camera time, and I should have been like, were you too scared to face Katie's husband?
Right? Yeah, that's sort of what it's giving because, I mean, he's not one to turn down any attention. I'm really surprised that he didn't go. So there's definitely something that he's hiding or that he was
Mhm.
worried about because he would not have turned down that opportunity unless it was something serious. So
Yeah.
yeah. So then what was the next? I went to the traders panel and then you came. We did all that stuff in the VIP. I mean, we didn't give Nick Vial a dirty look. Honestly, I didn't have my glasses on, so I knew he was like over there, but I don't know if he looked at us or we looked at
No,
him.
he did. He did.
But he wasn't in the panel. So we really, unless we went by his little booth, we didn't have to see him. And we're not like that lame that we would wait in a line to get a photo
Just
to
to
like
shade
confront
him,
him.
yeah.
We
Like,
don't
that
care
would
that
be so
much. That'd be
weird,
embarrassing.
actually, of us to do, to, like, get in line to shade him. Um,
Also, he's there with a brand being paid, so he's not gonna be able to be like, if I'm ever gonna have a talk with him, I would want it to be a real like, his actual opinion, and we heard some other creators went up and talked to him, and he was really kind to them and really nice to them, and we know that's not how he feels about creators, but he's with a
I
brand,
think he
right?
would have
So
been kind and nice to us as well, you know what I mean? Because, like you said,
exactly.
he's working, he's not gonna be mean. But day 2 of Bravocon, you guys, it was storming outside,
Oh
like,
my gosh, yes.
absolutely storming outside. It was raining so bad, it it was crazy. So, I think day 2 is also when we talked to Katie, right? Was that
Oh, yeah, yeah, we talked to
Yeah, we
Katie,
did talk to Katie as
if
well.
she'll be we asked her if she'll be back for season 20, and she said they're deciding in December, right?
Mhm.
Mhm, so still
Yeah, and then
time
we asked her
to
what she thinks of Vicky coming back, returning, and she said that she loves Vicky and she, is excited that she will be back, but she doesn't know if we don't know as of yet if Katie will be back. So you guys let us know. Do you guys want Katie back? Do you not want her back? I do think
Mhm,
that she did bring a lot of the drama this season, so that would be good for her
mhm.
to be there. And then day 2, we did leave before the infamous Miami panel.
Yes,
Panel was so late in the day,
it was at
um,
5.
and we had a reservation at BOA, which ended up being extremely, good, so we did
Mhm,
miss the Miami panel, but that is our number 2 recommendation of panels that you should watch from BravoCon streaming on HAYU is, the Miami panel because it got wild, obviously, with Adriana and the Haitian mortician. Me and Ashley mustered up and rallied to go to BOA because we
yeah,
were trying
we
to
were so
stay
tired.
in, Saturday night because it was raining, it was storming, we were like, "You don't want a cab, you don't wanna be out in the
Well, we
rain."
say raining too, it was like I don't know if you saw videos, but the whole parking garage was flooding, it was, like, pouring rain where you can't just walk in a little drizzle, it was like we had ponchos, the whole thing, so I was in my hotel resting, and I text Ricky, like, we could just, like, dress casually, stay in the hotel, get some food, and I could see that she was like, "Oh, is
Yeah,
that the poncho?"
yeah, and then I dropped the camera because your hood fell off and I was trying to
Oh,
cover
yeah.
your head. I'm like, but yeah, it was definitely like and this is like when the rain first started, but it was
Uh,
like by the time we were going back, it was like coming down. So the time dinner came, it was like pouring. So it was very easy to be like, stay in our sweats, order some room service. And
yeah,
I was like, "You know what? No, we should rally." We did rally. We went to
we
BOA. I got lost, so I was super late in the most uncomfortable you guys, there's nothing like getting lost in heels that hurt.
you should
The
show the picture,
Oh
'cause
my god, you guys, my feet, I got a brand new pair
it's
of YS
crazy.
heels. They were my
Wait,
first
those were the YSLs?
Yes, they were my first pair of
Oh,
designer heels. You
they
guys,
can't charge that much and then put you through that much pain, that's
you
rude.
guys, when I tell you that my foot like, these are definitely, like, pull up to valet, go to dinner, and go home shoes because at first they weren't hurting, but if you get lost and you're on a 20-30 minute walk detour, there you guys look look at my feet.
Just zoom into the
Like,
foot part, yeah.
literally, the YSL is, like, imprinted on my foot.
That's
Like,
so crazy.
it looks like my toes, like, about to fall off. Like, it
That is
literally chipped the polish on my toe, like, the polish came off my pinky toe, my big toe. I was like, "This is gel polish." Like, so, yeah, that was
and
my by the
I
time
was
I got to Ashley, I was like
yeah, we And I was clunking around in my wedges because I walked from the Flamingo to the Venetian. Don't recommend that in heels and in the
In the
rain, and
rain.
I went through a puddle that looked this deep, and then when I got in the middle of the puddle, it was up to my calves, like whole shoes submerged in nasty Vegas puddle water. So we were putting in the work to get this tea because we were thinking about staying home, but I'm glad that we went even though we got lost. I got there before Ricky. I was 20 minutes late. I think she was like 40 minutes late, but they put me by the front door beside a tree. So I told her I'm sitting in the bushes. So thank God she's brave enough to ask for a different table because we got moved inside, and that's when we were literally, like, 2 tables away from Janae was there, from Love Island. If you follow us, you saw we got a photo with her. You wanna tell your Janae story?
Yeah, so, you guys if you guys know and you guys follow so, Janae from Love Island, obviously, like, she's, like, America's sweetheart, everybody loves her, but when I was covering the Kenny and Janae breakup, I noticed that Janae had blocked me, and so, the only thing that I could think of was, like, she either blocked me because she doesn't wanna hear the Kenny coverage of her, like, the coverage that's going on about a breakup, which was just, like, public statements that everybody was putting out, but I was like, "Oh, no," and she kind of confirmed it too, because I did tell her that she blocked me. But during her season of Love Island, I was one that just wasn't feeling Kenny at all. I was just like, he just doesn't seem into it. She seems more into it than him. Like, I'm just not feeling it. So our waitress was kind enough, like, when she was walking out, she was like, "Oh, like, my girls that I'm ser" I don't know what she said to them, but I just seen her point to us, and we went up to her, and I was like, "I have a funny story for you." I was like, "Okay, my name is Storytime with Ricky. I'm a reality TV recapper." I said, "And I covered your season of Love Island, and during your season of Love Island, you blocked me." And she was like, "What did you do? What did you do?" And I said, "Imma keep it real. Imma keep it a stack. Like, Imma tell you. During your season of Love Island, I wasn't feeling Kenny. I always said that there was something off about him and that, he wasn't into it." And she was like, she started busting up laughing, like, we shared a laugh, and she was like, "You know what? In hindsight," she was like, "You were right. So you know what? I can admit my wrong. I can accept my fault." And she's like, she pulls out her phone and she's like, "What's your TikTok? Like, I'm gonna unblock you." So she pulls it up and I was blocked, literally.
Yeah.
She unblocked and she was like, during the season, she said, she was like, "During the season, I couldn't understand why people didn't like my man." I kept saying like, "Oh, why don't you like my man? Why don't you like my man?" And she was like, "You know what? And just for that, because I was wrong," and she hit the follow button and she followed me, which
Yeah.
was funny. And I said, "That's okay. Players fuck up. It's okay. We all fuck up." Like, and like, so it was really like a cool moment to, because I had always said it. Well, if I seen her, I would ask her to unblock me because obviously hindsight is 2020. Like, I
Mhm.
could see why at the moment you don't wanna hear that your man not into you or doesn't like you, and she was like, "I was always
Mhm.
wondering, like," she was like, "Now I see it, but I know I was always wondering, what are people seeing? Like, how come I can't see it?" So it was like we shared a laugh about it, and Ashley captured a picture of us, like, laughing, and
Yeah.
it was funny, and she actually commented on the TikTok, and she put, "Ha, ha, ha." I think it was supposed to say oops, like OOPS, because she put a
Uh-huh.
hearts and smiley faces, but she actually wrote OPS, which is
Yeah.
ops.
Ops.
So, I do think that there are some people in the comments that think she meant ops, but I think you can
Mhm.
see, like, just based on the emoji she's using that she meant oops. Because I
Yeah.
did see some people commenting that I deserve the block because I said other stuff, and I'm like, "No, the fuck I," like, my videos are still up. Like, you can
Yeah.
literally go back and watch the videos of exactly what I said, and
Yeah.
every take was that something seems off about Kenny. I was
Mhm.
like, "I love Janae. But I just don't know, there's something off about this guy. I don't think this is her guy." So
Yeah.
that was
And
definitely a super fun moment. She was super nice.
she was so nice, so sweet, like, she was literally leaving the restaurant, and our server, I forgot to get her name, but Boa, she's the most amazing person ever. She was like
Mhm.
she stopped Janae for us, she was giving us all the tea, she told us who was in the room, she was so helpful, like, without her, we wouldn't have known anything was going on, so
Yeah,
she was a reality TV fan too, and she said no one else working knew who the people were, so she was so happy we were there. So that was cute, but there was
yeah.
a private room with a bunch of, I thought it was a lot of housewives, but it was actually a very random crew. It was the McBees, so Ricky got a picture with Steven. I don't know, I like the cowboy look for you. if you would date a cowboy, but you were not feeling it.
I don't know. I mean, not that I wasn't feeling it. He's a handsome guy, but I'm like, no, like, yeah, I
Mhm.
didn't know who they were. So Ashley was like definitely giving me the lure on like certain people, and she's like, Just get a picture. The people on the pod will care. Trust me." I'm
Yeah.
like,
I
"Okay,
know, I'm
okay."
like, "This is this person, you gotta ask this, you gotta say this." I'm like it's like giving her a little script to do. So, because 'cause
Yeah, it was so
I'm
fun.
too chicken to ask, so
To be like, "Do you want a picture?" Ashley's like, "No." I'm like, "Okay." Like, so I
look
got
at
the
you.
McGee guy was very cute.
Very
His
nice.
girlfriend, Allie, or something like that, was, in the bathroom, so we didn't catch a picture, but I didn't want her to come out and think I was hitting on her man or anything like that, so I
Yeah.
tried to be like, give some space in the photo.
Mhm.
We caught Mark, her husband.
Yeah, Marge from Real Housewives of New Jersey. Alexis Bellina was there, but we didn't get a picture with her. Jesse was with them. We talked to him, got a picture. It was random. It was such a random crew. So, Julia from Real Housewives of Miami, but we didn't catch her picture either. Some of them, it was funny. Like the older, like ones that have been around a while, went out like the side door, I think, and then the newer Bravo Loves were coming through the bar. So they knew what they were doing. They're like,
Yeah,
"We
no,
want to."
Jesse kept going back and forth to the bars. He definitely wanted a picture. He wanted people to talk to him. I think before us, we seen some girls talking to him for like 20 minutes straight.
Nice.
And then we just finally went up and was like, okay, we're going to ask about this Aaron stuff and see what his thoughts on this are, because on the panel he gave such a cute answer. So he did
Yeah.
give us a little bit more. We'll post the clip of what we got, because again, he was yapping. So
Yeah.
you wanted to be stand there having a conversation, just recording the whole thing. But yeah, it was that was a really good night. It ended up being, the food was amazing, the vibe was
Yeah.
good. Like, wear comfy shoes, get dropped off by the Palazzo
Yeah.
Tower is closer. Get
Not the other end like us.
Don't get dropped off on the other end, because your feet will hurt. But I think if you go in through, think the Venetian closer to the Palazzo Tower, you shouldn't have a
Mhm.
hard time finding it. But that one, Saturday night was a good night. Like, it was a great night. Like, we got
Yeah,
a
we had
lot of
fun.
good info. We had good food. We looked cute in our dresses, and it was fun.
Yeah, I think we had, like, a 3-hour dinner or something. We were there for a while, so that was nice. I had a good time. I now, like, in hindsight, I'm like, I wish we had the energy to go out to the clubs because we might have got a little more behind the scenes tea, but
Mhm.
we're tired. It was a long day, so
It's a long day, and then you have to get up and do it all over again Sunday morning. Ashley got there very early to see Dorinda DJ.
Uh-huh, I had to see Dorinda DJ, so I went over that was started at 9:30, so I got there at 9:30, saw Dorinda. She looked really good. She had a little crop top on, DJing because I don't know how old she is, maybe like 60, so she was killing it. She looked
Oh,
good.
wow.
Yeah, and then the Ask Andy panel started at 10:15, and it was by himself, so I knew there was gonna be some big announcements. I wanted to catch that. They did have lots of announcements. They said, there's gonna be a new Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, but it'll be like a road trip version where they're gonna, like, pick up different housewives on the way, so I kinda feel like on Salt Lake, you know how they did that RV trip? I feel like that was a little, like, preview into what they're gonna do, so
Okay.
that'll be good. They also showed us the premiere or no, it was, like, a clip of the Real Housewives of Rhode Island, so if you're a Bachelor fan, I don't know how to say her last name, Ashley Iconetti and Jared Hybon, they're gonna be on the Real Housewives of Rhode Island, so
Oh,
that's big news for Bachelor fans. The rest of them were literally Dolores clones from Real Housewives of New Jersey, and then Dolores is on the cast too. It was they're all the same, a very New Jersey type cast. It was like Italians. So, but it
okay.
looks good, looks
Okay.
spicy, looks like they have a lot of history together. He also announced that they have the Real Housewives of New York cast and that they're going to film soon, but he wouldn't tell us who, but he did on a previous panel say it's not the hybrid OG new cast, sadly. Heartbroken. So,
Yeah.
we miss the OGs. I do feel like there's gonna be something with them, but he didn't tell us what. So,
Mhm.
yeah, and then there was a lot of weird questions. The people get up there you would be shocked how hammered someone can get by 10 AM, but they do it, and they were drunk, and one girl asked Andy how big his dick is, and, is he a top or a bottom, and
Oh
can they
my
hook up
god.
with him? Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh my god.
It got awkward, so
Did he
and
answer
then
those?
he said he's happy with his dick size, he's very happy, and that he's a top. He's like, "I've answered this before. This is old news, guys." So
I've answered this before, like, somebody asking Andy Cohen if he's a top or a bottom, like, there's so many things you could ask him, like, I would
Right?
just be like, "How did you get to where you're at?" Like, "I aspire to be like you. Can I be your fucking intern? Can I hold your purse for the night?" I don't know. Like, I can
Well,
do to, like, learn and shadow you. That's what I would want, but, like, wondering
I
if
kept
he's but he's not even into girls. What do you care if he's a top
mhm.
or a bottom? He ain't into
I
you.
Yeah, a lot of the girls are hitting on him. I kept telling Ricky to go ask a question, but the line is very long. You have to
And
basically
they
go
only
when the
take,
panel
like, 5.
starts.
They only
Yeah.
take, like, 5 questions, if that, so
Yeah, so, um, then what else did we watch for panels that day? I think did we on
we the ballet,
oh,
we watched the new I'm sorry, the new Vanderpump.
Vanderpump. Yes, they showed us the premiere of Vanderpump Rules season 12. I think it was pretty much the whole episode or most of the episode.
The
So they had a
whole
little
episode, I think, yeah.
yeah, there was a little Q&A with Lisa before, and then I thought that the new season looks really good. Ricky was not sold. So what did you not like about it?
You guys, I was not feeling it. I thought, "Oh my god, these people are" first of all, that guy from that we seen on The Perfect Match is on there. What is his name?
Yes, Chris Hahn. I wasn't a
Chris
fan of him
Hahn.
on Perfect Match.
So he was
He,
on The Perfect Match. He's been on something else too, right?
dated and related, so
So
both
he's been
Netflix
on
shows.
Dated and Related. If you guys remember, he's the one that kinda looks like he's the one that kinda looks like Robert De Niro. Everyone was saying he
Mhm.
looked like a prince or whatever. He was with Tolu, right?
Yes,
I think
and he
for most
wasn't
of the time. I personally what I did not like about it is it seemed very like, honestly, if you guys have never watched Vanderpump Rules, I highly recommend it. It is top tier the original Vanderpump Rules. It's top
mhm,
tier reality TV. There is no duplicating it, right? You just
mhm,
have this friend group that's just wild and chaotic, and they're all hooking up with each other, and they're all having fun, and they're all backstabbing each other. There's nothing like it, and this one seemed like they were hyper aware that they were on camera. They were hyper aware that they are following in the footsteps of a massively successful show. It just seemed very fake. It seemed very I just didn't like it at all. Like,
yeah,
it just seemed very fake. It didn't seem authentic. It didn't seem genuine. It didn't actually even seem like there's a lot of drama, you know? Like, you could tell which characters are trying to be the Jax or be the Stassi or be the Dodie or be the and there's no replicating it. So,
mhm,
I just I don't know. I would give it another watch, maybe like another episode watch. If it
uh-huh,
were up to me, like I would give it like 2 or 3 episodes max. But after that, I wouldn't waste my time because to me it was just like they were trying to imitate and it just didn't seem authentic or genuine
mhm.
to me.
Yeah, they're definitely in a hard spot. Like they're not gonna really be able to win, right? Because it's like if it's super dramatic and the people are gonna say you're faking it, you're trying too hard, and if it's more genuine and real, people are gonna say you're boring, you're not like the other cast. So they really can't win. I think it's just gonna take some time, but
Oh,
I liked
what
it.
did you like about it? Yeah,
I
what did
thought
you about it?
I thought it seemed like there's genuine like connections there. You know, like genuine friendships and that they have genuine fights to me. It seemed like, like Venus and the Marcus and all of their some shows you watch, it feels like they just threw a bunch of people together. These
Mhm.
people they all work together, and so that just adds an element I like that we don't see on some other shows, like, say, on, like, the Mom Talk show where it's all this, like, social media fighting and, like, unfollowing and following, like, these people were actually fighting about more real things that we see on the actual Vanderpump Rules, like the
Yeah.
first one.
Yeah,
So
maybe it was just the first episode. I felt like what were they fighting over? One girl was like, "Oh, I don't want you being friends with my boyfriend."
mhm.
Like, it's like, okay, but they were friends first. She was really handsy with her man. I think she don't need to worry about old girl and her man. She needs to worry about old boy and her man
Yeah.
because there's a I don't know the names of them, but there is a best friend group of 3, it's 2 guys and 1 girl, and I think one of the
Mhm.
guys is part of the LGBTQ community, very cute, very model, like, long hair
Venus.
Venus, like, long hair, like, just literally looks like an Abercrombie model, like, straight out of a catalog, and, um, he's friends with this boyfriend and girlfriend, and it's like, to me, it's, like, very obvious that, like, maybe there's a little something going on between Venus and the man,
Mhm.
and she was worried about, "Oh, I don't want this girl talking to him," or, so I'm like, "Okay, that seemed like a little, like, minor fight to
Yeah.
me." I don't know,
What do you
I didn't like it.
what would you wanna see? Like, what was missing to you?
I want to see, and again, I would have to go back and I'm sure the first episode of Vanderpump wasn't like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It took time to character build, and I think that's a main part of reality TV is, like, liking the characters and, like, character
Mhm.
building, and then, like, you get connected to these characters and you wanna know more of their story. There wasn't a character on the first episode that really stood out to me that I like, that I wanna know more about, that I'm, connected, like, there was no breakout character that I'm like, "Hmm,
Mhm.
she's gonna be interesting." I could tell who they want that person to be, which is the girl,
Natalie.
Natalie, I guess, yeah, she's 26 and she dated a 45-year-old, like, they want
54.
her 54.
Yeah.
Okay, 54, she dated a 54-year-old, she's 26. You could tell that they want her to be the Stassi, they want her to be the star, they want her to
Mhm.
be but I'm like, I wasn't really getting that. So, again, maybe after 2 or 3 episodes, Imma give it 2 or 3 episodes, and if
Yeah, I think the
not,
only way to watch it is to not think of it like, "Oh, who's the Stassi and who's the this?" and just, like, take them for
well,
who they are.
I'm not, but
Yeah.
to me, it's obvious that that's who they want this person to
Yeah.
be. Like, I'm not looking at it like, "Oh, is this the Dodie? Is this the Stassi?" It's like, they're
Mhm.
shoving this girl down our throats, they want her to be the star. She's the one
Mhm.
getting the most camera time, they're focusing too much on her
Mhm.
versus, like, all of the characters and how they blend together and how they mesh together, in my
Well,
opinion.
yeah. Well, I think the thing was she was, like, suspended because she came in on her day off screaming at her ex-boyfriend who see, maybe this is why I like it because I worked in restaurants for, like, 16 years, and it feels
Mhm.
very real to me. This is the shit that goes on when you're there. Someone
Yeah.
coming in on their day off and yelling at their ex, like, that happens in restaurants every day. So to me,
I
I'm not
understand,
even
come to your place of work on your day off, who does that?
oh,
So many restaurants, go somewhere else.
no, see, this it just feels very real to me, so maybe that's the thing is I'm watching it as someone like, this is a restaurant versus, like, thinking of the old Vanderpump. Because when I watched the first Vanderpump, that's what I liked about it is being in the restaurant industry, I'm like, "This is the shit that goes on, right? This is
Yeah.
real," and so, watching this one, I'm like, this girl coming in on her day off, yelling, getting suspended, that was, like, another week at the restaurant, that's the shit that
Yeah.
happened, so
I
I
think
thought it
I
was
like the
real, but
genuineness, like, the authenticness of the Vanderpump, and I didn't, and maybe that's what I didn't feel like I got from this show. It
yeah.
felt very performative to me, like, it felt
Mhm.
very, like, to me, I'm just like, "Okay, they're, like, blatantly on camera taking shots." He knows the camera's there, and you're sitting there saying, "You don't really have to work, like, don't do that."
Mhm.
Like, it's like, who somebody who cares about their job or
Mhm.
actually, like, who would say that on camera? "You don't
Yeah.
really have to work, like, don't do anything," like, you know what I mean? But at least the old Vanderpump used to act like they were working or used to try and, like,
No, they
you
used
know
to
what
drink
they
that's
used to
they
drink all the time, but I'm
on
saying, like, they're
camera,
not
yeah.
on camera saying, "We don't work, we don't you know what I mean? I just felt
Oh,
like
they
that was
did.
so, like,
They
I
did.
remember the old Vanderpump, but you're not sitting there to the camera guy being like, training a newbie, like, "You don't really have to do it," knowing that Lisa Vanderpump's gonna see it. Like, I just feel like it was just on
Yeah.
episode 1, like, you're
Yeah.
doing that on
Yeah,
like,
they definitely were copying a lot. Like, I felt like that sneaking shots was very copied from the first one
Jack,
and
right? Like,
yeah.
'cause Jax used
Mhm.
to do that at work and, like,
Yeah.
used to they would talk about how much they don't work amongst each other, but they're not telling new hires that, they're not like I just felt like I was like I think that scene, like, rubbed me I was like, "Okay, here
Yeah.
we go." Like, I just didn't feel like it was genuine, but like I said, I'll give it 2 or 3 episodes. We'll see, maybe it'll pick up, maybe it'll, get better. I do think that maybe they should have just called this one something else, like, I
Yeah,
don't
definitely.
yeah.
Yeah. It's very weird to have a brand new cast start on a season 12. I don't know why they do that. It's like they're really just setting themselves up for failure, like, with New York girls, right? You're always gonna get compared. If it's a new show, it's a new show, and maybe it'll take more time to get off the ground, but you're not always gonna get this comparison of, like, it's not as good as
Yeah,
this, it's not
like
as
the
good.
next gen, right, is all like are mostly the housewives' children's or whatever. They didn't try and call this season 12 of The Real Housewives of whatever. They just gave it its own show and look at it. It's thriving, it's doing
Yeah,
its own thing. So I think that they could have done that with Vanderpump. Like they could have called
mhm,
it Sir season 1, or they could have done, and then it would have been its own thing and it's new and it's like you said, it's really hard not to think of the old Vanderpump because it's just iconic, you know?
mhm.
So
You know what? I think we're gonna have to do, like, a part 2 of our Bravocon because it's been 2 hours and we're still going. We're not even, like
on day 3, we're only on day
yeah,
2, but
we
that's all
still
that
have so
happened
much
today too.
yeah, we still have so much to
Oh,
tell
wait,
you
no,
guys.
that was day 2. That was day 2. Oh, no, this was in day 3. Vanderpump was
Yeah,
in day 3.
Vanderpump was on day 3. I don't think we
Okay.
have too much more to say, but the Salt Lake City panel was massive, we gotta talk about that. We also saw another really amazing panel with Denise Richards, Brittany Cartwright, Luann de Lesseps, and, Kim Zolciak, so that was
Mhm.
so good, full of tea,
Oh, yeah.
and
Mhm.
yeah, I'm sure there's other little things too, so I'm like, I wanna get our first part out today to you guys, so why don't we do the second part? Or maybe we're also gonna do our, Potomac and OC recap, so maybe we'll put third part with that, if that sounds good to you.
Yeah, sounds good to me,
So I
and then
gotta go pick up my kids from school, so
we got Squid Games
like
for
a
you
mama's
guys.
talking, sorry.
We didn't forget, we do have Squid Games, for you guys as well. We just have to watch it all because the whole season's out now, so we'll make sure we get that to you guys ASAP.
Yes, I watched, 5, 6, and 7 on the plane, so that was my plane entertainment, and it's really good, so I'm
Mhm.
excited to talk about that. Secret Life of Mormon Wives, I don't know if we're too late now, like, I wanna watch it, and I think there's always lots of after tea. I know they're just starting their interviews this week, so I think we could still probably get that out
Did
too
you get
this
the
week
whole
if you
season
guys
out?
they did. It's so
Mm.
annoying. Give us a chance to catch up, but,
Yes,
you
that's
know,
true.
normally we're on top of it, but this Vegas thing put us back. But if you guys are still watching it, let us know because I wanna cover it, I think,
Mhm.
so.
Okay.
And then Love is Blind Italy is coming, so we'll do that, but we'll get to that. We'll just get through BravoCon first, so so yeah,
Mhm.
we'll be back with, part 2 of our BravoCon and more recaps. Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.